Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the matchmaking day of the Call for Solution Sustainable Food System. My name is Andrea Patrucco. I'm working for the Municipality of Milan, food policy area, and I'm the project manager of Food Trails. That is the project, the Horizon project that is hosting today this event. It's our second day in our Food Trails event that we organize in Milan, and we decide to have this matchmaking day with cities and startups and SMEs that we organize here with the support of Cariplo Factory, our strategic partner. Before to briefly present Food Trails and starting this intense day, I welcome on the stage Riccardo Porro, Chief Operating Officer at Cariplo Factory. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. And it's really my great pleasure to welcome such a wonderful audience today. Also hosting here in our Innovation Hub the Food Trails Matchmaking Days. Just a few words before starting, moving on with the agenda. I give the floor to the startups that are the heroes of today. We are really proud of this involvement of Cariplo Factory as an innovation partner of Food Trails. So first of all, I want to thank you, the Municipality of Milan, the Living Labs, and the other municipalities member of the Food Trails Consortium. We are really committed to build a sustainable food system since the design of the food policy of Milan. So we are really on the way to build a partnership to foster this kind of transition. And also within the Food Trails project, our focus was to build bridges between the public sector, the municipalities, the Living Labs, with innovative startups and SMEs. So the idea was to bridging the policymaker with the innovative sphere represented by the startups. And we believe strongly that this is the key to allow the transition to more sustainable food system. So we started focusing our work on the innovation challenges of the municipalities and their Living Labs. So we map their innovation needs, their challenges, and following that we design the area for the core for solution for startups and SMEs that we promoted at a European scale. And let me say the results was very overwhelming because we received more than 200 applications from all over Europe with a very diverse stage of startups and also type of solution and application. We have solution in terms of data collection, in terms of food packaging, in terms of food waste management, innovative practices for indoor farming, and also solution to tackle the innovation of the supply chain. Today we have here 23 of these startups and SMEs that we strictly selected in a very strict process. And today these startups will have the opportunity to pitch their solution to the municipalities, to the Living Labs, to get in touch with them in the afternoon in some one-to-one session. And we all hope that this activity will generate some innovative solution and that the municipalities can take advantage from the emerging technologies that characterize the solution offered by the startups. Closing my speech, I just want to thank you all again for being here today. Also for the people that are connected on the website, that are following us on the stream. I think that today will be a very productive day. Personally, I've been very excited of today. Also, the solutions are very, very innovative and very impactful. I really look forward to see the outcomes of the activity of today, because I think that today we are only at the beginning of our collective journey to more sustainable food system. So thank you again, and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thanks, Riccardo, for your welcome and the interesting insight. Let me say really thank you to all the team of Cariplo Factory that works in the last year on this call for solution, really challenging aspect of our project. I want to introduce briefly the agenda of today. We will have a first batch of startups and SMEs pitches, 1 hour, more or less. Then we'll have a break. After, we'll have a second batch of pitches, and then we will have this public tour that we organize as Municipality of Milan under the umbrella of the Food Forum week that we organize in Milan this week, and also with some partners of Food Trails. And we will close from the lunch break with a wrap-up of the morning. Before to start the pitches, I just want to show you a video of Food Trails that can show you how we are working in our project in this Horizon experience.
How do products from your local farmer end up on your plate? What happens to food waste? Can we offer quality food in the fight against food poverty? Integrated urban food policies can answer these questions. And the Food Trails project is helping cities develop their own to positively impact food systems, from farm to fork. The project operates under the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and responds to the EU Food 2030 policy. Each partner city is running a living lab to find tangible solutions to specific food issues. From developing food councils to coordinating food aid, from strategic public procurement to food education. In Food Trails, collaboration is a key ingredient. At the local level, relevant stakeholders are involved in designing solutions. And at project level, researchers and European cities come together to exchange and learn from each other. Create your own recipe for more sustainable, healthy and inclusive urban food policies. Join the Food Trials momentum.
One of the main challenge of our 11 living labs is to provide solution on public challenges. Starting from this perspective, we have launched this call for solution in order to find innovative private partners, startups and SMEs that could help cities to reach their goals. With the support of the strategic partner Cariplo Factory, we have identified the needs and the challenges after this long co-design process with the City of Food Trails that participate in the evaluation. We launched the call, and after the evaluation now, we are ready to start the first pitch. I want to before say that Lina Guglielmino, that I want to welcome Lina, Impact Innovation Manager of Cariplo Factory, that will start describing the rules of the game today.
Thanks, Andrea, and welcome to Food Trails Matchmaking Day for the Call for Solutions Sustainable Food Systems. It's great to be here. I'm delighted to co-moderate this moment. As we know, as we heard today, 23 startups will present their solutions for sustainable systems. And as you know, they have been selected between 200 applications. So I want to welcome all of them with a big round of applause. So thank you for all startups that decided to bet in their solution and to present today.
This afternoon, the SMEs and the startup, we have the opportunity to meet the cities with closed-door events. So we organized a busy afternoon for our cities and the startup and SMEs.
So the quick rules of the games. Startups and SMEs today will have 4-minute speech, and then, as Andrea said, after the lunch break, cities, partners, and investors will have the opportunity to meet them in one-to-one meetings. And for investors that are online, they can book a one-to-one appointment by writing to the email events@cariprefecture.it to book a meeting and go in depth with the startups and SME solutions. So I believe we can start with the pitch. Andrea, do you want to introduce the first company?
Sure, Lina. We start with Climato. I asked Gioia to be with us. He's the head of science of Climato. Climato offers a user-friendly interface enabling food businesses to calculate their recipes' carbon footprint and communicate to customers the CO2 per dish.
Perfect.
Enjoy your moment.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sure we all know that climate change is one of the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced. And 1/3 of global greenhouse gas emissions come from the food sector. Therefore, it is paramount that we change our eating habits. And Climato can help. Climato allows food businesses to calculate and report the climate impact of the food they buy and they serve. Because remember, we cannot reduce what we cannot measure. Moreover, we help businesses communicate the climate impact of food. And we characterize meals based on a low, medium, or high impact on the climate. And the low threshold means we are eating in line with the recommendations of the Paris Agreement. We now work with more than 400 companies around Europe, North America, and the Middle East, and we estimate that our market size in Europe alone equals 150 million euros. But how does Climato make money? We are a SaaS. We have a subscription-based model. We offer solutions to independent restaurants, but also restaurant chains, restaurant groups, and within the enterprise segment, we also offer solutions to municipalities. And it's within this segment that we see our biggest market cap and biggest impact potential. For 2023, we will offer to our customers more sustainability metrics, for example, water use. 2024, we will expand to North America, and we will have solutions also for food producers. And then 2025 is the year where we will go global, and we will serve every food-related business. And that's why Climato will be the market leader for sustainability services in the food sector by 2025. And in order to do that, we also need to help the public sector. And how can we do that? We can work very closely to the caterers that provide food to hospitals, school canteens, employee canteens. And we can help them create more sustainable recipes. We can also organize awareness campaign for citizens so that they can make more informed decisions. And then also this would be a fast track for Climato in order to be actively involved in the development of European regulations. And now, a little bit of boring numbers. Our MRR is 71,000 euros. We have a month-over-month increase of 10%. Our CAC is 8,000 euros, and so far we raised 5.1 million euros in investments. Thank you very much. From myself, Gioia Zagni, Head of Science at Climato, and from the whole team, we are 20 professionals in life cycle assessment, business development, software engineering, marketing, and we have even more expertise. We are very passionate about food, we are very passionate about sustainability, and we will keep keeping the planet chill one meal at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Gioia, for your presentation. Now I want to introduce the second company of today, Flood Technologies. They come from Portugal and launched OT, a two-side platform that connects farmers and buyers through a secure online marketplace and physical pop-up market. So welcome on stage, Michel, the Chief Business and Sustainability Officer.
So, hello everyone, good morning. Do you know that 70% of world population will live in cities by 2050? Yeah. Food systems is shaken up by recent events, right? And the increase of population will probably increase this problem as well. Problems like Pietro, a producer who faces low profit margin and delayed payments. And Maria, a consumer that has poor offer of freshes that she loves to give her kids. So, I'm sorry, my name is Michel, and at Orti we have a solution for this problem. So Orti is a SaaS marketplace that creates and sell fresh food with local communities. So at Orti, we combine producers, consumers, and municipalities in a single platform. And for cities, we offer cities a local food shopping, a holistic local food shopping experience. Possibilities for the cities to track its metrics, economic and environmental impacts. For producers, we offer a total digital experience enhanced with data that will enhance their tracks economics and environmental impacts. And for consumers, it's a local food shopping experience as well, enriched with and the possibility to buy locally sourced food in their places. So maybe you are thinking that Orti is another food marketplace, right? But it's not exactly. If Orti, we offer real-time data, so it provides the cities to track their economic and environmental impacts. We bring together consumers and producers physically, quite literally, through the pop-up markets, and we are very flexible. We are adaptable to any market and any city. So cities who facing growing our population is able to join Orti through a setup fee, annual subscription, and successful fee rates. So while the population is growing, the necessity for fresh food is increasing as well. So Orti is well positioned to tap this market. So we are a Portugal-based team of professionals with a diverse experience from designing sustainability, software development, people who loves really and lives this experience together. And it might seem to be good or exactly, but this is a reality in these two cities, Aveiro and Porto. We are operating right now with impacting 300 people. So we have this recognition for some bodies as well. And the best thing is that we are impacting really in a huge way. So we are able to reduce 2,000 tons per consumer. So I invite you to be part of this change. So let's come with us in this experience. And so, thank you very much.
So, thank you very much. The Next one is food forecast. Is from Germany. Will be used to. Is the CEO founder is connected with us. Food Forecast has developed an AI-based software that provides accurate demand forecasts to companies in the food sector to help them to avoid overproduction and to eliminate food waste. Please.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. My name is Justus, founder of Food Forecast, and our AI is focused on preventing food waste and therefore increasing sustainability, but also profitability of our customers. And we already talked about the impact of food on the global greenhouse gas emissions. What's interesting is that food waste alone makes up 7% of our global greenhouse gas emissions. And if food waste was a country, it would be the third largest emitter of global greenhouse gases right after China and the United States. For us, this poses a big challenge, and climate change will be more important over the next couple of years. So our big vision is to reduce food waste by worth 10 billions of euros in the next 10 years. We focus specifically on bakeries, supermarkets, and restaurants, and they have different challenges that lead to food waste. One example is that people, if it's very sunny on the weekend, go out in the park, they have a barbecue, and therefore they will buy more baguettes. If it's raining, they might stay inside, have cereal or toast. And what we do with our AI is give our customers predictions so they know exactly what they need to produce and order over the next couple of days. And we have already some very promising results. We currently have more than 700 stores connected to our AI, and in average, we reduce food waste by 30%. But the other side of the coin is that we also prevent out of stock situations this will lead to increased revenue by 4%. And the most important part for our customers, interestingly enough, is that we automate this whole process, because our AI doesn't take vacations, it doesn't get ill, it produces better results. And therefore, this came for us a bit of a surprise, but the automation part is why people are buying our solution. So how does it work? We take historical data from our customers, so we always know when and what was sold in the past couple of years. We combine it with the external factors like the weather, but also holidays, school holidays, is Ramadan, is Carnival, and also some local events. We use this data to train our AI, which then creates predictions for our customers. And these predictions are qualitatively very high. They are different for each store, and our customers can use them through different apps. First of all, we have an order optimization. This gives daily predictions. Then we have a production plan, which tells you how many tomatoes do I need to cut over the day and when do I need to cut them. And then we have several analytics components to really measure the success of our AI. Our team is very diverse from different backgrounds. We did some projects in the past together, which mainly focused on IoT and smart factories. I have founded a car sharing startup 10 years ago, so sustainability is like a red thread through my life and was always very important for me. And also is the motivation behind Food Forecast. So what's in it for the municipalities? I think first of all, you can increase food availability and also prevent waste for your own facilities like food banks or canteens. But it will also help to optimize food availability during very special events like Christopher Street Day. I know last year in Cologne, there was almost no bakery that still had bread left on Christopher Street Day because it was such a huge success. And with AI, we can make sure that food is always available. This will also help you be a role model in terms of sustainability. And you have the possibility to connect also the different players in your city to create more awareness about sustainability, but also about food waste. And in the end, it might even discharge your disposal companies because they have less to do and the process is overall more efficient. That's it from my side. Thank you for listening. Please add me on LinkedIn or get in touch with me if you're interested to hear more about us. We are also raising a smaller seed round at the moment. So if you're interested, please get in touch with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Justus. And now we continue with the online pitches with Ilean from France. So today with us, the Charbel, they will present the AI software providing detailed sales forecasts to reduce food waste and improve bakers and restaurants' margins. It's not Charbel, but it's Paul. So welcome, Paul, and the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Paul, co-founder of Milan with Charbel, empowering company fresh food retailers with AI forecasting. So each day is different in a shop selling perishable items. Leftover generate a lot of food waste. Overstock lead to a lot of financial losses, and out of stock make client unhappy and generate a lot of missed sales. Yeah, can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. So this is a $100 billion opportunity forecasting. The food industry is unable to predict its demand. We can with Elian. Overstock is over $45 billion of lost revenue, and out of stock are over $65 billion of lost sales. This is why we have created Elian, a SaaS software designed to monitor and forecast all of your food business. So our technology provides cutting-edge forecasts on all of the items sold in the store, revenue forecasts and hour-by-hour attendance forecasts for the next few days and weeks. Our events modules allow to monitor everything happening nearby the shop. So we have trained our models on over 200 million transactions and many exogenous factors like weather, calendar, discounts data, events happening nearby, and so on. It allows us to automate orders to supplier and optimize inventory. So we want to reduce the global solution to tackle food waste, and we aim to reduce it by 50%. So the market opportunity is great, and our total addressable market is about 12 billion euros. Our business model is a subscription ranging from 100 to 400 euros per month and per location. Our go-to-market is clear. We want to reach all of the large corporations with outbound sales, and we want to partner with POS provider and municipalities to reach a broader range of clients. We want to work hand in hand with municipalities and provide them attendance info in key areas, reduce food waste at the city level, and expand interest for new retailers and event organizers. In 1 year, we have achieved a lot, and we are already working with France's largest retail groups. This is the best moment for our product. Inflation and energy costs are rising, making the retailers look even more for their products. Finally, we have the best team to build this product. I am Paul, and I have retail expertise after having worked in one of France's top retail consulting company. And Charbel, my co-founder, he has an AI expertise from UC Berkeley. Thank you for listening, and feel free to contact us if you need to.
Thank you, Paul. Now we are moving from France to Greece. I introduce Vlasis, the CEO of AgriTrack. This company offers a software as a service post-harvest automation platform that optimizes perishable food value chains. The floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Vlasis, and I am the CEO and co-founder of AgriTrack. We are an agri-tech startup aiming to revolutionize how we monitor food quality from farm to fork. So, unfortunately, the food value chain is broken. A lot of food, actually 15% of all food produced, is lost before that even gets to the supermarket. Now, what's crazy about this is that a big part of that loss is due to the limited information about the quality, the temperature, or traceability. A customer of ours, one of the largest aquacultures in Europe, knows this. When you transport freshly caught fish, they should be at 2 degrees. But that is hard to monitor, and the logistics are complicated. The inability to accurately assess freshness or expiration date leads them to make mistakes, such as send fish to distant retailers, who in turn receive a bad product, so the product is returned or downgraded. Okay, so what have we done? We built a SaaS platform that monitors food quality and provides an efficient temperature monitoring solution. It also reduces costs and secures traceability compliance for perishable foods. Right now, our emphasis is on fish, and we are also working on dairy. For a better understanding of our solution, I'm going to walk you through our product only for the fish value chain to simplify things. At the first stage, our solution, our users, in this case, we're talking about fish in the sea, the harvest crew, in the fish farm, they use our app to connect with sensors and secure who does what, when, from which cage the fish came from, what were the temperatures, all the way to the packaging plant. We basically help them digitize their operations, assure compliance with international traceability regulations, and well, everything is recorded onto the ledger. Now at stage 2, that's where the magic begins. We harnessed all the data we collected, and we use data analytics, machine learning, and predictive microbiology so that we can assess the freshness and the expiration date, helping producers know where the fish should be processed or how it should be sold. Should it be sold as a full fish or a fish fillet? Hence, reducing product returns, product downgrades, and well, a lot of cost. But we don't stop there. Since we have secured all that information into our ledger, we can put a QR code onto product packaging so that when you and we go to the supermarket, we can take our phone, scan the QR code, and see its story from sea to fork. Okay, so what are the validated benefits of what I just walked you through? First of all, simple. After AgriTrack, our customers can be assured that they have 100% traceability compliance. Great. Second, through the optimization, they can reduce costs and obviously food losses, which is great for the environment. Third, and more importantly, quality. Before AgriTrack, quality was subjective. Basically, quality personnel visually determines freshness, looking at the eyes and the gills, again sticking on to the fish story. Well, we are revolutionizing quality. We're using science to make it quantitative and real time. Our emphasis right now are aquacultures, but that is only the beginning. Dairy is next, and there is a potential for us in the future to leverage our 20 years of research to examine how other commodities, such as meat or poultry. So let me recap. We were incorporated 2 years ago. We are now a team of 11, and we have invest capital 370K. We have proved our solution across one of the largest aquaculture, which currently is planning to roll it out across all of their sites. And we're also examining new pilots with other aquacultures. And we have a clear indication of interest for our dairy offering as well. To mention that, we do have real revenues. We started 2 years ago, and those revenues in 2022 were 186K, and we expect them to continue growing. Now, a bit on the competition. Do we have competition? Yes, we do. However, they do things quite differently. They do not leverage food science and predictive analytics to understand the real problem or assess food quality. We are the traceability providers that can offer that additional information. That is, predict expiration date, assess food quality on the field. And that requires our spectral data set, which took us almost 20 years to populate. How do we make our money? Well, we sell to food business operators and we deliver our service through a SaaS model. Finally, the team. I'm biased, but we have a great team. We are a team of multidisciplinary professionals, from MBAs to PhDs to professors that have dedicated their career to AI and non-invasive food quality. And also not to mention that we have our advisor, Seri, as an advisor, who is the founder of a silicon-based unicorn. Now, regarding the municipality use cases, we're thinking outside of the box, but trying to see how the product can be used in the municipality. It does not need to be fish or dairy, even though these are the expertise. However, what we can use is we can use our solution and using the QR code to actually in restaurants or supermarkets so that you can engage with customers and let them know unique characteristics about the quality or the provenance of the specific food. Or you can help local producers secure and promote, validate the origin of their dairy in this case, and validate that the dairy was received, the specific cheese was made from the specific cows or goats, etc., etc. Or again, we can use our solution to help producers assess quality characteristics of the production. In the dairy case, again, we can help them real time on the farm, being able to assess percent of fat and percent of protein right in their farm. Thank you so much for your time. This is our team, and it was a pleasure presenting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vlasis, for your presentation. Now it's time of Hydropolis from Poland. So I welcome Anna that will present us a vertical farming technology allowing local cultivation of fresh plants such as herbs and lettuces. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Anna Drwięga and I'm the COO of Hydropolis. We are a general provider of vertical farming systems in Europe. We all know that agriculture will not look the same in the next 30 years. We are forced to modify the traditional cultivation methods due to disruption in supply chain, water scarcity, and rising production costs, and general globalization. One of the solutions to these problems are vertical farms. The vertical farms we provide are completely isolated and allow for year-round plant growth. By providing the ideal conditions for plants, we can accelerate their growth, save up to 95% of water and up to 65% of fertilizers. And importantly, we can shorten the distance from producer to consumer to even a few kilometers. To show you some numbers, 100 square meters of vertical farms can provide as much food as 3,000 square meters of conventional farming. Today, we come to you with a proposal for the use of Hydropolis vertical farms in your companies or municipalities. To name just a few of values that vertical farming can deliver to you, to your community. Fresh, healthy vegetables that grow right next to you, even in the city center all year round. New jobs in agriculture in areas not previously used by this field. Green education of public, which is so important in the current world. And last but not least, diversified income for you. Who could be involved in a project to run vertical farms? Who could be the beneficiaries of the solutions? To name a few. Local communities, research units, NGOs, food manufacturers, supermarkets, restaurants. I believe that vertical farms in municipalities or companies can carry even more value than we can even anticipate at this stage of the project. At the very end, 3 examples of vertical farms that we as Hydropolis can provide depending on the size and your demand. For large scale, we can deliver vertical cultivation inside, for example, big warehouse, like 1,000 square meters warehouse. For medium scale, we can deliver independent vertical farming system in a shipping containers. And for the small scale, we can deliver small cabinet-sized cultivation. We can provide farms to grow herbs and lettuces. The entire cultivation process is controlled by automation and our proprietary software. Along with cultivation, we provide cultivation recipes in a format that makes it easy to grow delicious and healthy food, even in the city center, without any prior of knowledge of agriculture. I would be really happy to tell you more about our possibilities of our vertical farms. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anna. Now we return in-person speech. We remain in Poland. Matilda is working as CEO in Future Friendly Farm. The company designs and builds vertical farms of different shapes and sizes for retail chains, offices, hotels, and schools. The floor is yours.
All right. Hello. My name is Matilda Schirle. I run Future Friendly Farms. We make compact vertical farms. Why we do that? Well, if you want to feed the world in next 40 years, we need to produce the same amount of food as we did within last 8,000 years. On top of that, we have other challenges that we already know. All right, thank you. Well, we have floods, we have fires, and on top of that, both we and our children, quite often, we don't have the access to the good quality food. And vertical farms alters the food production challenges. As been mentioned already, it saves water, it allows us to produce all year round locally, totally without pesticides or herbicides, and also limiting the food waste. We have adapted this technology to the needs of schools, creating a mini educational farm. We call it Narnia, because it looks like a magical wardrobe. And it already operates in an elementary school in Silesia, Poland. How does it work? Well, basically, in this farm, you can plant greens from seeding to harvest. It has 3 or 2 layers. It has sterilization of the water, automation, and it can be operated via a mobile app. And this automation means that it's very easy to use. It requires less than 15 minutes per day. Anyone after a short training can operate it. It only requires a connection to a socket. So you can put it in a school corridor, for example. And such a farm, 120 over 60 centimeters, produce around 100 portions of microgreens per day. It's 30 pots of microgreens per day. And the benefits, well, we say that when you let the children grow on their own, they not only have access all year round to tasty, vitamin-rich superfood, but also when they grow by themselves under supervision of teachers, we can see that they are more eager to eat those greens later, and they grow healthy habits, and also they are in touch with new technologies. I'm happy to show you some pictures and videos how it works in this school later. We can adjust the size and design of the needs, the size and design of Narnia to the needs of our customers. Here are some examples of our designs, and price of one Narnia is less than 6,000 euros. And what are the microgreens I'm mentioning? Well, it's a real superfood. They are not sprouts, not full plants yet. They are very tasty, healthy, very easy to use, and organic because, as I've mentioned, no pesticides are needed. Here are some examples of microgreens that you can grow on a vertical farm. We have a full palette of flavors, from spicy ones to the mild ones like pea or sunflower. And who are we? Well, we are urban farmers and space tech constructors. We produce vertical farms, but we also grow fresh greens on them. Some of our clients are companies like Carrefour, Orange, Frisco, or Sodexo. And we have 2 types of products. We have B2B products, vertical farms and automated racks, and we both have smaller farms like Narnia that I just described, but also bigger farms from 100 to 1,000 square meters. And we have the fresh products in biodegradable packaging and totally organic. In our team, we have people both with engineering, finance, business, and biotechnological experience and education. Last year, we've doubled our income. So far, we've been operating on a 30 square meters farm in Warsaw. Right now, we are just opening 4 times bigger farm in Warsaw. We are also raising a pre-seed round and scaling up sales internationally. And all the details about financials, business model, and expected profits, I'm happy to talk about them later. And last but not least, impact-wise, so as I've mentioned, during the last 2 years, we've been operating on a 30 square meters farm. And on this farm, we save more than 200 tons of water already and 80,000 of plastic bags, plus pesticides and herbicides, and the awareness and the educational side of our activities. So we invite you to grow, make profit and positive impact with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matilda, for the presentation. Now it's time of Coolmat with Andrzej, the co-founder and chief process officer that come from Poland. Welcome, Andrzej. They provide a temperature-controlled outdoor locker that can store food in safe condition within the range of -20 and plus 47 degrees Celsius, and make it available 24 hours, 7 days, and 365 days per year. Thank you. Oh.
Okay, yeah. So I will start a little bit differently with the idea how we came up with this solution. I'm sure everybody was confronted at some time with the stress going to the groceries, traffic, everything, you know, standing in lines. That's why we also said, okay, let's build something what people know, but let's make it available for food. At the same time, we identified that there's a lot of opportunities in the grocery business because the technology and the consumers alone are navigating now these changes. And as we can see also in these presentations, there are many, many opportunities for different kinds of companies. Our is very simple. We are actually a mix of a normal parcel delivery machine, but we enhanced it so that it's actually cooled and heated. For the consumer, it's relatively simple. You know, it's what everybody knows. We go online, we buy something, and then somebody needs to deliver it. Currently, the focus is more or less on the delivery companies. There are multiple startups in Europe receiving billions. But we believe it's still a little bit too early, and this is not the way it will proceed endlessly. Our machine is very modular. You can build from 2 towers with the main kiosk. It's ecological in the sense that we are greenhouse. Our gases in the cooling systems are greenhouse, almost zero. So we are in that way ecological, and it's a good solution in a way that, you know, we are the bridge actually for the couriers or the grocers, whoever wants to deliver. Our machine is different in a way from a classical parcel delivery that it enables remote controlling. You can manipulate a lot of stuff. You can connect it to different e-commerce solutions. You can connect it to mobile apps recently, what we also developed in the system. So we are not focused that much to provide the whole, everything, but we see ourselves only as the bridge, as the pickup point of the consumers. Our market in the beginning, it was more or less only grocery chains. We started in Poland also with Carrefour, Frisco, I think, in Poland. Also some other catering companies, healthy food delivery companies. And we still believe that actually there is much more here to this market than the groceries. We identify that there are food banks, opportunities in US, restaurants, human support, you know, food aid to people in need who need to get delivered some packages and they want to have it delivered in a more intimate way. And there is also what we also found out that there is also a start of communication, I would say, of an EU regulation that would limit the courier companies, which are growing like mushrooms everywhere in all the major cities, the traveling in the city, so to say, because they are also impacting indirectly sustainability and pollution in city. What we do better, we are the producer, consultant. We take the whole project with you. So we are not just selling with the machine like many competitors in Europe, but we are providing you everything which comes also with it. And our lockers are fully external. Of course, you can put them also internally, but they are primarily external. We started in 2014. We received some seed funding, developed the first machines. Then in 2017, we provided the first network of machines in Poland. Then we stopped because it was not no interest. Then COVID came, and then we restarted. We got about €2 million investment, and we are currently searching for investor. For municipalities, like I said, we see that building a network of machines and giving the machine available to different kind of companies can lower the pollution in the city centers. And with the new EU regulation, I think this will be partially a need. If anybody has any questions, these are my contact data. And we are an international team, so it's not only Poland, we are also in Slovenia, and we are the only one assembling and producing the machine alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrei. And after 3 companies from Poland, now is the turn of Italy. So, Small Giant. Edoardo Imparato is the CEO. Small Giant offers a range of tasty insect-based snacks.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Edoardo Imparato, co-founder of Small Giants, and we are facing a huge issue because in 2050, the world population is expected to grow to 10 billion people, and meat demand is expected to double. The only problem is that meat production is extremely environmental, it's not sustainable at all. So both in terms of water and both in terms of CO2 emissions. And basically, there is not enough land to grow this amount of meat. A lot of people are realizing that issue, and we are witnessing an unprecedented transition to alternative protein sources. For example, plant-based food, and in the future we'll be seeing more of lab-grown meat. But we can also count on edible insects. Insects are a little bit weird, but they can be wonderful. They have the highest percentage of protein compared to these free alternatives, and they can be grown using food waste or food byproducts, for example, so boosting circular economy. For this reason, we have created a range of healthy snacks using cricket flour and insect powders in general. So for example, in this cracker that you see in this image, we use cricket flour, so you won't see any part of the insects, but you will enjoy the benefits, including high protein and high vitamin B12. But in reality, what we are really doing is that we fight a cultural taboo, and we want to aspire a food revolution based on tastiness and a little bit of quirkiness. These are our flavors, and we sell our products mostly online and offline, but we also organize events, and we also do collaborations with companies and the public sector. This is a little bit a graph showing the growth of the market. So this is the number of consumers in Europe that have eaten insects or are going to eat insects. So you see this huge growth. And this, of course, is attracting a lot of other companies in this market, in this segment. And we can differentiate from them thanks to our focus to ready-to-eat products. We have an award-winning brand identity. We have award-winning products. And we can use like a higher percentage of protein in the flour, meaning more protein for the consumers. And we can count on like lower prices thanks to our very efficient supply chain. Thanks to all these, we have sold more than 80,000 packs of crackers with extremely good reviews on our website. And we have generated like more than 100,000 revenues in the last 12 months. For next year, we want to reach 3 million in revenues and become fully profitable. And in terms of investment, we have raised 500,000 euros in 2021, and we want to raise a little bit more than that now in order to boost our marketing and sales activities, and also to launch our different type of products that we have developed in the last years. For example, meat analogs, pasta, and protein bars. This is our small and fantastic team. And I just want to finish the presentation highlighting what we can do for municipalities. And our products can be a fantastic tool in order to promote healthy and sustainable food choices. For example, we can see perfectly our snacks in vending machines and in canteens, but we can also organize events and other type of or other type of events for generate brand awareness about this issue and this potential solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eduardo, for your pitch. I hope he has some snacks for us today. I don't know if he brought something. Now it's time for Biotrim Distribution from Poland. So fully biodegradable single-use tableware and food packaging that are obtained from wheat, corn, or rice barn. Thank you, Malgorzata, CEO of Biotrim Distribution.
Hello, my name is Małgorzata Ten. I am CEO of Biotrim and also co-founder. So I founded this company in 2012. And what we are doing is manufacturing, sales, and development of single-use packaging, basically made of different type of agricultural leftover stream. I think all of you are aware about problem with the plastic. So world produce every day 450 tons of plastic, and only 90% is not recycled. What we are offering to the market is a solution which is not only the product but also technology. And our technology differs from the competition because this is only 30 days of composting. We are using 80% less of CO2 comparing to plastic packaging, 80% of energy. We are using no water. And basically, our product you can throw away in the woods, in the grass, and probably before it will compost, it will be eaten by animals. Our production plant is certified as a food production, so our products are edible. Of course, they are not especially tasty, but they are so natural that you can even bite them. We are using only natural, locally available materials like wheat bran. We also have developed different materials like corn husk, rice husks. We have very low carbon footprint. We are offering also takeaway containers which are water and oil proof up to 4 hours. And they are safe for the microwave. You can also bake the bread, for example, in our bowls or different shapes. About the technology, on the picture here you have the picture of our production plant, which is based in Zambrów in Poland. We have capacity of 30 million pieces per year. And our product has been sold to 18 countries. Right now, basically, we are delivering to Europe, and some part of our product goes to Latin America. Our machines are developed by our engineers, so they are not ready-made. We just design them and build them also in Zambrów in Poland. We have protected IP, and the production process is extremely simple. So you are taking wheat bran, you are putting the pile of wheat bran on the heated mold, and the pressure and the temperature does the job. Of course, there is a piece of magic in that, but it's our know-how. The technology is extremely versatile, so it means no matter which type of waste stream you are putting on the mold, you can get the result in form of plate and bowl you can use as a food packaging. Here you have examples of different type of leftover which we tested or we did for our purposes or for our customers. Here you have corn husk, the leftovers of the carrots, for example, for the huge Polish producer of the juice from carrots, and Jägermeister, which is also a very interesting product. We are developing our products and we are biting the market piece by piece. So right now we are scaling our production, perhaps selling plates and bowls for the single-use purposes. We are ready to launch new product, which is takeaway containers. And in the next 2 years, we are going to also to produce the packaging for food. I think about the development, what we are going to do is to license our production all over the world. Last year, we have signed the first licensing agreement. So the first abroad production plants will be in Argentina. We already sent them 2 machines, and they will produce from wheat bran, corn husk, and millet. Our proposal for municipalities is to create a solution which will show the circular economy. So we are going to show how our production is done. We did it in the Dominican Republic 2 years ago. One machine in the container showing how the production is done, and then we can serve the food in the local restaurants on those plates, and after that we can compost in the composting field, and the compost can be used in local garden. I think I'm out of time, so if you have any question, I have the samples with me, so you can see the wheat bran products and also from the other materials. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now is the turn of Irene, CEO and co-founder of Zero Impact. Zero Impact offers a reusable packaging service model that involves supplying, delivering, collecting, and washing reusable containers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Irene Simone, and I am the co-founder of Zero Impact. More than 40% of all plastic produced is packaging, which very often is used once or twice before being thrown away. The food delivery industry, based on a linear economy model, greatly contributed to increase this problem, leaving the end users without any option but to get their food delivered in single-use containers. Recently, the European Commission and governments all around the world took active action to ban certain single-use products and to reduce their impact. We built a solution on a circular concept, where single-use packaging in food delivery is completely substituted by reusable packaging, thereby creating zero waste. In this model, we take care of everything. We provide reusable packaging to food providers, we make the delivery, we collect dirty containers, we wash and sanitize them, and then, at the end of the process, to close the loop, we return clean containers to food providers, ready for reuse. We call this circular food delivery. We coded and implemented a digital platform for a daily zero waste food delivery, and this platform was specifically designed for B2B, which means for companies, businesses, business districts, where high volumes of delivery are concentrated in specific locations, and therefore the reverse logistics of collection of containers is very much optimized. This platform has an integrated QR code tracking system that allows us to track and monitor containers, and then with this platform we can also measure and assess the positive environmental impact generated by our service. But what do we measure? Through the life cycle assessment methodology, we can quantify the exact amount of packaging diverted from the waste stream, and we can quantify accordingly the amount of CO2 saved, the amount of water saved, and we can also calculate the water footprint of the food that circulates in our containers. To give you a concrete example of what we are doing, here's the case of Mind, the Milano Innovation District, a district located in Milano that by 2026 will count 70,000 people, and where companies, universities, hospitals, and startups have come together to collaborate. Today, Mind counts about 3,000 people, and we already deliver 400 meals per day. These pictures that you see here concerns the delivery in one just single company. In 9 months, we succeeded in dropping by 80% the amount of packaging waste, and of course we are much more ambitious than that, and we want to increase this number. By 2023, we want to serve 3 more districts in Milan, and we're almost there, and by 2023, at the end of the year, we want to expand our model in Turin and in Rome, where we already have dialogue in places with companies and municipalities. By 2024, we want to make our software more and more sophisticated concerning data collection and analytics. And then at the end of next year, we want to scale up in Europe, starting from the Netherlands, where my co-founder and brother, Giulio, currently lives. In December 2021, we raised 500K, and our financial need in 2024 is about 1.5 million in order to expand in Europe, as I just said. Our core team consists of 5 people, but we have also 3 full-stack developers working with us, 2 people working with operations and logistics, and then a person concerning social media and developer. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Rene, for this energetic pitch. Now it's time for Clear CO2. She comes from United Kingdom, and I'm pleased to welcome on the stage Sylvie, CEO and co-founder of these startups, these innovative startups, which provides a B2B, so a business-to-business platform that certifies voluntary carbon credits to SMEs in local food systems. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Ciao Milano. So the good news is that you are all here, pioneers in transforming food systems, and we have great news because what you're doing is so amazing and needs actually to be pushed and fueled with money. You're all looking for funding, and basically we want to provide this financing. There's a big loophole, which is that there's a mechanism that nobody understands. Carbon credits, carbon markets, and basically there's money for you. And we're going to show you how to collect it with certifications. And we want to do that in a very disruptive way, which is to be more transparent, really adapt the methodologies to you, so then you can also learn and know how to save carbon emissions and get money for that. So we need to start somewhere. Of course, we can support all of you in the mid-long term, but where we start is basically with food waste. So there's a lot of carbon emissions that can be captured here, and we know that the main problem is that only large companies have a requirement to report and reduce their emissions, so they pay. However, they need to find some solutions that are reducing carbon emissions. Guess what? Cities and SMEs, just like all of you who are presenting today, are reducing emissions. But you didn't get any funding for that because you're missing the certifications. So that's why we're offering you to create all these certifications tailored to what you are doing through generative AI, so you can cash that money. So not only we know that food waste can help create more sustainable food systems, but we know that it has much more impact. Reducing carbon emissions, reducing food waste, and also bringing more impact to feed more people. This is the magic of it. So how does it work? As we said, just in short, large companies need to pay and reduce their carbon emissions. All of you cities and SMEs, sustainable SMEs, can sell the carbon credits that we are certifying, and they get the certificate, you get money. That's it. As simple as that. So our solution is to build a platform where we can benchmark easily all the different solutions and activities, give recommendations for a zero waste food system at start. And the reports are really with trusted information, transparent, that you can follow on. We want to offer a carbon credit return on investment calculator, so you can know better what works and what doesn't work, benchmark that over all the pioneers that are working in this field, so you know what solutions to implement. We have 9.1 million of carbon credits that we are already serving and assessing for 4 different pilots. We are working with food banks at the moment, like the one in Vienna. And as we said, like the competition doesn't focus on small, mid-sized enterprises, only on large ones. We take a cut. We're in the same boat. Yeah, we mainly get money through 25% commission, And this is our amazing team that is really motivated to serve all of you, getting you as much money as possible. And we invite you to help fund pilots. We start with food banks and with solutions like you to create the certifications you need to cash those carbon credits you're entitled to. So please talk to me afterwards.
Thank you, Sylvie. We finished this first batch of presentation with a great energy. So I ask for a big, warm round of applause for these first 12 startups that presented in the first batch. And now we have 10 minutes break. So see you at 10:30. Thank you.
Welcome back. And thank you for all the entrepreneurs that participate to the first batch of our presentation. Now it's the turn of a second group. We have other 11 companies, and we start from a connection from Switzerland. Benno is the business development director of Kitro. Kitro offers an automated data collection and analysis solution for measurement and prevention of food waste in the food service and hotel industry. Please, Benno.
Hi, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining. And my name is Benno. I'm from Kitro, a Swiss-based startup that likes to show you some treasures in your trash bins. But let's start from the beginning. 1/3 of all produced food worldwide, unfortunately, gets lost during the global supply chain. This accounts for around 10% of all human-made CO2 emissions. Quite a lot, no? And if we look at the food industry, because my two founders and also myself, we are coming from the food industry, and we thought here is maybe the first point to have a scalable impact. Also there, around 20% of all purchased food items in the hospitality and gastronomic industry gets thrown away. This accounts for more or less on an average of 150 euros per day that lands in the trash bin. Quite a lot and quite a huge disaster from a sustainable point of view, but of course also from a financial point of view. And earlier today, it was mentioned we can only reduce what can be measured. And this is the big challenge with food waste, because most of the people do not really know how much they throw away, how much lands in the trash bin, and where it comes from, and when it does it happen. But this information is needed to, in the end, have a point to action and also to have an impact in the end. And we have created an automated solution, and I will show you a quick video where we can see the solution and how it works, because the principle is rather simple. There are no buttons at the device. It's on wheels, and you just put the bin on it. That's it, what you have to do. At the bottom, we have a scale. Then on the back, there is a pole that is adjustable in height, so it works with all kinds of bins. And at the top, there is an integrated camera that takes pictures. So every time you throw something away from plate waste, from the buffet or whatever, it takes a photo, and then we have an algorithm behind that can detect the different food items that have been thrown away. This data we collect then in a dashboard and make it easy to analyze and visible to you. So we then can identify when which product gets thrown away, and together with our account managers, then we can help you to find action points to reduce food waste in a sustainable manner and also on a long-term basis. So AI, maybe that was a bit fast. So what we do in the end, every time you throw something away, we have an algorithm in the back that looks at those nice pictures and finds out what you have thrown away. This data then we put into our dashboard and make it visible to you to have a base for action in the future. Because data without action doesn't help anybody. But we also help you in this process because we have an account manager that will support you during the measurements, help you to analyze data, and also implement actions directly on your property. Furthermore, we can then also track the impact of it. And here I would like to show you some of the current measurements and the results, because we are not only working with restaurants and hotels, we're also working with municipalities to look at their school canteens, hospitals, elderly homes, because there is a huge potential to decrease food waste and save some CO2 emissions. But on the other hand, there's also a huge financial impact. As you can see, here are the reduction percentages, but also the money that has been saved during this measurement. So as said, we have some ESG to reach. We need data. And with Kitro, we can deliver that data and help you to reduce food waste on scale on a regional level. Thanks a lot, and looking forward to talk to you soon.
Thank you, Benno. And now let me introduce Svupol from Luxembourg. They offer a B2B2C marketplace for close to expire products. So welcome, Abdella, the the CTO. The floor is yours.
Thanks a lot. Can you hear me well? Okay, so I will start right now. So thanks a lot for welcoming us. So I'm here as the Chief Technology Officer of Swoopel, a company that has been created 4 years ago. So we addressed the food waste in Luxembourg 4 years ago with a brand new mobile app that provide visibility to close to expiry date products. Those last 4 years, we worked a lot with a lot of partners, supermarket and cities. We are now very happy to announce that we have a new version of our app, which is meant to be the Tinder of the close to expiry product. How does it work? It provides you geolocation of our partners' products that are onboarded in our platform, and I will show you later on how it works with our partners. We are currently live with Carrefour, with Paris. So we have 92 supermarkets and markets there, and we support them in reducing their shrinkage. But as they are financial companies, they are also interested by increasing their net margin, achieving their goals in terms of zero carbon objectives. But most important, what we've noticed the last 4 years is that without acting on the behavior of the client, because we are a B2B2C platform, we cannot change the behavior. So we have put in place our experience to produce as far as possible gamification. And that's the reason why we now focused on swiping and having a lot of rewards and gamification to onboard as far as possible clients. So why do we do that? We strongly believe that the technology is for sure an enabler, but ultimately to have an impact, we have to promote a sustainable lifestyle and support the client, you and I, in changing the way we consume, and at the same time support our client in increasing their margin. So currently, what do we offer for retailers and cities? We now have a very mature experience on the Swoopel app, which optimizes the stock level for supermarkets and create a demand and a gamification to change the habit. When it comes to cities, we have been approached by the Luxembourg state to decline our solution for health because we heard that there is the same issues with medicines, and we are now launching a new project, which is Swoopel Health, the version for pharmaceutical product. And on top, the hostels and restaurant market is asking for a solution to having access to local and seasonal products. How does it work? Once we onboard a partner, we can connect our solution and upload all their data within our software, have real-time stock updates, discount, and if you want to have it, you just have to swipe right. If you don't want this item, you swipe left. We measure the CO2 impact you have, the savings that you do, and by doing so, we provide what is the most important in our software, the visibility. Same has been declined for medicines, and we are now launching a new project with the Luxembourg City in order to optimize the medicines workflows between hospitals, doctors, and clients. Ultimately, Swoopel is a desktop solution that makes which is able to extend the scope to any action that needs to provide visibility to this stock. So why are our clients using our app? So I will take the very concrete example of Carrefour in Paris. It's because they have a lot of products and they want to provide access on a third-party platform so that the client come to their market and get access to those products. What are the advantages? For sure, like all of us here today, we aim to avoid product waste. and at the same time provide profitability to our clients. So the last 4 years, we noticed that the net margin of our partners has increased from 0.17%, which seems low like that, but in terms of margin is a huge, huge, huge impact. Finally, we can adapt ourselves, so we don't want to take control on the financial flow. We let the accounting on the client system. We want to be a pioneer of in the high waste markets. It can be cosmetics, it can be medicine, it can be textiles. By the gamification, we hire the retention of the client. We also avoid overpackaging. We had a lot of requests also with our experience to address the damaged products, so we can provide visibility to products that could be waste if we don't provide visibility. We also highlight promotions, and by doing so, we enable cross-selling once the client goes to the supermarket. And last but not least, we optimize the storage area by having a good rollout of the stocks. What is our proposal? We propose to the supermarkets an 8 months pilot with a control group. Usually what we do is that we select 10% of the stores in one city, and we provide KPIs in terms of success. I'm Abdel Tayeb, the Chief Technology Officer. Feel free to contact me on LinkedIn or via email, and I will be happy to provide you more information. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Zwupel. Now, our last presentation online is from France, is Maria of Nona. Nona has developed the management software that helps restaurants serving collected meals to focus on menu planification. Please, Maria.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Lozano, and I'm here to present Nona. So as they said, we mainly work with canteens, so restaurants serving collective meals. Nona was founded after 3 main realizations. Number 1, after the last French presidential elections, we realized that food had become the #1 concern in terms of ecological issues. Number 2, as everyone here knows, food has a huge impact on the environment with 30% of the CO2 emissions related to it. And thirdly, in 2018, there was the Egalim law that was voted in France, which demands, amongst many things, 50% of sustainable products and 20% of organic ones for restaurants serving collective meals. On top of that, we realized that chefs nowadays are overwhelmed. We're asking them more and more administrative tasks, and they not only don't have the time, but they also don't have the right tools to deal with all of these new challenges that they face. This is why we decided to create a solution that helps them cook in a more sustainable way via 3 optimizations. Number 1, time. Number 2, budget. Number 3, the communication. How do we do this? So we start with the menu, because it is the recipes that we put in the menu and its ingredients that are going to have an impact on the shopping list, on the budget, on the communication about the menu, and lastly, on the Egalim stats that are demanded by the French government. And on an overall view, we're going to have a better view on the costs and spendings, on the supplier orders, and on the stock management. Who is our market? Today in France, there are 73,000 canteens. 40% of them are handled by service providers, which still leaves a huge potential market for us. We can find, for example, school cafeterias, health institutions, and administrative restaurants. And for example, just in the school cafeterias market, it's important to know that 7 out of 10 kids eat at the cafeteria, which makes up for 14 million meals a day. Our business model is a SaaS software accessible online from any computer, which relies on an annual subscription. The costs are going to depend on the size of the structure and on the number of meals that are served at the restaurant, because we want Nona to be accessible for all kinds of structures. A little word on our competitors. The main ones are EasyLease and Salamandre, which have been on the market for quite a while and focus mainly on very big central kitchens, which serves thousands of meals a day. And they are not particularly focused on the sustainable side of it. They're starting to integrate the Egalim law into their features, but it's not one of their main focuses. There are, of course, other solutions in the market, but these are our main challengers. So where are we going with Nona? By the end of 2023, we expect to have 2 more training programs on vegetarian meals and nutrition. By 2024, we're going to have a supply relationship platform. And in 2025, we expect to work with more than 900 canteens all over France. About the team, it is divided in 3 different sections: the devs with a UX UI designer, the sales, and the operational team handling all the accounts that we work with. Quick word on the numbers. Our revenue in 2022 was of 130K with a number of 90 clients. It is important to know that since the beginning of the year, we've been signing almost 1 client a day. 2022 was also the year where we did our big fundraising with investors like Investir Plus and Food Viom. And about our projections, we are expecting an ARR of 3,349K by 2025, with a very big team growth to support the growth of the business. So how can we help a municipality? As we've seen, there are many challenges in canteens today, whether it is the menu, the nutrition, the budget, EGalim, food waste, communication. We aim to help you with all of that, putting all of these challenges under one same roof, but we also want to hear from you. From the very beginning, Nona was co-constructed with chefs and with municipalities, and it's a software that is in constant evolution, adapting to our clients' needs. So please tell us, what do you need, and we'll create a solution together. Thank you very much, and looking forward to talking to you all.
Thank you, Nona. The last speech, the last online pitch. So now I want to leave the floor to Roberto Pasi from Italy, CEO and founder of Being, a startup that offers educational interactive behaves equipped with IoT monitoring sensors. Thank you.
Grazie. Buongiorno. Nice to meet you, everybody. My name is Roberto. I'm one of the founders of Being. What we do, we make the world of pollinator transparent, understandable, and actionable. What we did, we created a city just for a human. And a few years ago, we started the green revolution, moving to the city, plants, creating different type of system with plants. But we think that we need to do something more. We think that it's time for a really new revolution that brings to the city biodiversity. That not mean only plants, but also insect, in particular pollinator. The revolution in the city allow not only bring park and green space, but also bringing agricultural system in the city mean production, food production, as we have heard since now. Humanity did a lot of steps, but what do we think? We improved everything about agriculture, fertilizer, machinery, everything. But everybody forget about the pollinator. Over the 80% of all the food we eat every day depend on the work of some special insect. Not only honeybees that are super famous, but bumblebee, mason bee, a lot of wild pollinator are really important for the food chain. And not only fruit and vegetable depend on pollinator. Also meat, for example, wine, cacao, coffee, all this food believe on the work of some special insect that every day work to pollinate. So what we do, we are specialized in urban beekeeping, monitoring the pollinator in the city. We are allowed to create projects to bring biodiversity in the city. Monitoring the insect and the honey in particular, we are able to check the air quality, so measure the pollution in the city through the honey. And we do different type of educational projects for municipalities, school, and also company. How we do that? With our special bee box, that it's a special urban hive that is safe for us and safe for the insect, and through specific technology. I'm usually to say that we are like a little Google translator for insect. We really listen the bzz of all the insect and translate it information. They really talk to each other all the day, so it's just about listening and understanding what they are saying. We have a lot of experience. We started 5 years ago. We have did the project for company, municipality, school, and we have a lot of apiary spread in Europe. School, association, park, university, a lot of different places. Sorry? What our proposal for the food trail? We can create apiary, shared apiary. We can check the air quality through the inset. We can create specific educational course. We can create a beekeeping class for citizen, group of citizen or school. We can create your own honey production, branded, and we can create a different type of situation to monitor the insect through our sensor and sharing our information in different channels. How it works, I said it before, we install our little device inside the different type of nest, we collect the data, and with algorithm we analyze the data and customize for the different customer. We are cash positive since 2019, we are growing quite fast. All our system work with a subscription model, and we are really proud to have a 90% retention rate in our customer base. We are mainly in Europe. We have some customers also in the US, and we are starting a lot of pilot projects around the world. Sorry. That's the market, that it's huge, counting all the different type of potential customer. That's the team. We are 10 people, full-time. These are some of our partners. For example, Cornell University, University of California, and we are involved in some European project. Okay, it's finished. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Okay, we remain in Italy. Now we are another company is called Italia Plant-Based. Italia Plant-Based has developed Foodwise. This project is an after-school food education program that aims to improve food literacy among high school students. Nicandre is with us and is the program manager.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. We've had so many data-driven presentations today, so this is going to be a bit of a change because we're moving towards education, but I'm actually going to start by coming back to something that Eustace said this morning, which is that nearly 10% of all the food we produce is, nearly a third of all the food we produce is wasted, and indeed, food waste accounts for nearly 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Now, what's interesting about this is that if you actually look at the drivers of food waste, most of them can be boiled down to a specific kind of illiteracy. Am I doing this wrong? Oh, sorry. Is that right? There we go. Food illiteracy. Now, what is food illiteracy? I think some of you probably know food literacy basically refers to how knowledgeable we are about food. And that's not just in terms of making food, preparing food, so cooking, but also in terms of its nutritional value and in terms of how it relates to culture, society, the environment, and food systems. So if we look at the drivers of food waste, what we can conclude is that the climate crisis is as much a crisis of undereducation as it is one of overconsumption. Now, the solution that we've developed is an educational program for high school students that not only trains them to be food literate, but also trains them in how to share their knowledge with their peers. We believe that there is a tremendous opportunity in this new digital native generation. We might even call it a dormant resource. For all of these young people to become ambassadors of sustainable food. And for that reason, the solution that we've developed teaches not just cooking and nutrition, but also marketing and communication. Oops. Sorry, my apologies. The other thing about this program that is particularly unique is that we are seeking to create a transformational experience. Now, what is a transformational experience? A transformational experience is one which changes rooted beliefs and ignites behavioral change. And the way that we have chosen to do this is by focusing on an experience which is both multisensorial and immersive. And the educators that we'll be using for this project are not just randomly recruited individuals who have been taught a curriculum, but rather the very resources that cities already have within them. They are the farmers, they are the retailers, they are the no-waste organizations, they are many of the organizations sitting here today. We're going to work with those people to teach young people about food and climate change. Our target groups will be working with 3 partners principally: high school students, these food heroes that we have, as we've named them, and corporate sponsors. The current business model relies heavily on private-public partnerships. So for this project, we'll need to create private-public partnerships with corporate sponsors and municipalities in order to carry it out. But we also sell the main business of Italia Plant-Based Mindful Morsel is the sale of plant-based boxes. And we also create training and consultancy services, so educational products that can be sold also online. Mindful Morsel and what we're doing with FoodWise is quite a unique proposition because it's seeking to knit together these 4 kinds of education. So it's not just culinary education, not just sustainability education, but also entrepreneurship, marketing, and communication. We distinguish ourselves because we have a fairly experienced team in terms of education, because this solution, once it is developed, is replicable in other European cities, because of the connections through food that we're fostering between students, between local food heroes, between corporate sponsors, between municipalities, and because of the very specific entrepreneurship and communication skills that we are developing in students. Our goals are to go from 90 students in this year to up to 360 in 2025. And we have a team which is as transdisciplinary as the project itself. I ran a social enterprise restaurant in London for many years. I'm a chef. Susanna, our CEO, is a plant-based entrepreneur with a background in international project management. And Martin, who is helping design the curriculum, is a chef and experienced designer. Sorry. All right, I'll get to the last slide. We are standing, of course, on the shoulders of all the work that has come before. So what we're seeking to do with FoodWise is really to crystallize, support, and extend the priorities that these cities, particularly Bergamo, Thessaloniki, and Bordeaux, have set out in their food policy agendas. And we believe that together we can forge new connections and create sustainable change through the shared pleasure of food. And that is our contact information. We'd be happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Thanks, Nicandre. And now we have a startup from Finland, Veneroi, that developed Vegemi, a food education app combining tech and animation to increase children's vegetable consumption. Today with us, there's Emilia, the CEO of Veneroi. So I want to ask you to welcome her with a big round of applause to give her some nice energy boost. Thank you. Please, Emilia, welcome on the stage.
Hi all, great to be here today. I'm Emilia, co-founder of Venner, and I'm very happy to present you Vegemi, our holistic concept for sustainable food education. So, I'm happy to introduce you the superpowers of fruit and veggies, and also the Vegemi, good tummy bacteria that lives inside of you and in his very own app. Vegemi is needed. By study, only 1% of Finnish young kids eat enough fruit and veggies daily. But we know the problem is global. So with low fruit and veggie intake and high ultra-processed food intake, this leads to enormous problems in health and environment. But how to get kids excited about veggies? We use play, tech, and animation, gamification, real fruit and veggie recognition with approved health claims. These come the superpowers. We tie up with the age-related food education concept. We aim to a change in children's diet. Just a small change, just to add a portion of fruits and veggies daily, or swap a portion of ultra-processed foods to veggies daily, make a huge impact and lowers the risk of type 2 diabetes or CO2 emissions. It's just a slight change, maybe to change an orange in your lunch, a biscuit in your lunchbox to an orange. But how do we do it? And this is what we're doing with Espoo. So the second biggest city in Finland, we are having the concept and co-creating the Vegemi for early years education. It's going to be ready in June. We are supporting the teachers, the children, and the parents with our sustainable food education, lesson plans, materials, training, and of course the support. The Vegemi app that is free for the consumers and the families, they assist in learning and engages the children. And then at home, it's the playtime continues and also the tasks. So we tie up the environments of home and learning. We have some really amazing feedback. So I'll read you a few. Kids are excited about Vegemi. Real fruit photo recognition is brilliant. It gets children interested in tasting veggies. It's an effective package. It gets children involved, easy to take to action. I would definitely recommend. Vegemi concept differs from other learning materials by combining the digital app, real veggies, tasks, and of course the funny character with all its adventures. But for our business model, we do have it in early years education, so it's the scalable, just plug in nutrition education. But we work with UK government's HAF programs as well, providing the education resources there. And we partner up with retail and food brands just to bring the awareness and, of course, the extra revenue source for us. But why Vegemi? Because it's easy, it's ready to implement. You make your curriculum stronger, reduce the planning time. Of course, healthier children, happier parents, and thus more sustainable diets in your municipality. So, let's power up your education with Vegemi. Thank you.
Thank you, Emilia. I will be the first customer for my kids, considering that I just eating pasta and pizza, as you can imagine. So, but remaining with the same topic, because the next will be BBS. It's an Italian company. Lorenzo Bottini is the bid manager. BBS provides interactive 3D and virtual reality game-based experience to young generations, creating a fun and learning environment to promote sustainable food consumption.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Buongiorno. It's a pleasure to be here today presenting you our company and project. As you can see from the very beginning and from our jumping pier, today we will talk about 3D gamification, edutainment, and of course, reaching the target by 2030. Firstly, let me introduce myself, as the colleague has done already. I'm Lorenzo Bottino Ambrosione, I'm the bid manager of BBS, an Italian company based in Brescia, just 1 hour from here, from Milan. The company started its long journey in 1999, so we have already more than 20 years of experience in the territory, in the IT sector and development. That's why we are certified in terms of software and app development, and as well we are official technological partner of ANCI, the National Association of All Municipalities of Italy. But why we are here today? We are here, as other subs are here, to talk about food waste. You can see critical numbers in red evidenced here, but we have to focus on a huge opportunity. The 1 billion young students entering in primary schools every day. And thanks to our experience and the product and project we developed so far, we are able to deliver a 3D gamification to let them learn how to properly face the huge waste problem. We underline here a small video to let them show you what we have done so far. These are images of our real use case images of the 2 projects we deliver in primary schools. This project are called Frutta e Verdura nelle scuole, fruit and vegetables in the schools, and milk in the schools. As you can see here, the graphic is very interactive. You can have small quiz during the gameplay. Of course, the graphic is fully customizable for your final customer. You can see 2D animation and 3D gaming animation. Children are learning while having fun. This is key in our proposal. A lot of mini games to let them learn, and of course, why not to postpone to the virtual reality target? We are already operating in virtual reality project. So let's see some more data. If the video stop, okay. So apart from the octopus on the right, you will see some data that are showing you the real user of our already existing 2 cases. So we are talking about huge numbers, and why not replicate these numbers in other contexts, in other cities, and in others reality apart from Italy. Time is rolling, so let's continue quickly with the final slide. Time is rolling in every sense. 2030 is close by, and we are able to provide a solution starting from scratch just in 4 months to customize it from the storytelling, from the storyboard, design board. So we are able to fit a proper solution for a proper target as a feasible cost. 80,000 euros, it's a feasible amount of money to produce an edutainment gamification on gameplay. And here you see a third number as well. The 9.3 is the annual growth rate of edutainment market. That means that in the next future, you will have to face this type of technological educational system, and we are here to provide you a concrete solution. So hope you enjoy our presentation. Here are my contacts if you need some more info, and we hope to see you in the one-to-one pitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorenzo. And now it's time for Rebread, a startup that developed a safe process for preserving unsold bread by giving it a new best before date. So welcome to Eva, the project manager of Rebread from Poland. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hello. My name is Eva, and I'm a project manager at Rebread, where we are on a mission to solve the problem of bread waste. So while bread is one of the most popular food products, 1/3 of it is wasted. And it is estimated that 15% of bread never even leaves the production site, which means becomes waste before even being sold to the customers. And from our experience, the amount of wasted bread in just one industrial bakery can add up to 4 tons per day. So this is a number that can give you a headache. But when our team looks at bread, we see a clean and rich reservoir of carbon, of vitamins, of flavors. and one that is possible to preserve and keep circulated in the market. So in other words, we see a valuable raw material, a resource. Our background is in an artisan bakery, and the beginning of our bread was to solve our own problem of wasted bread. But the problem that we faced on a small scale is a universal one, and in one way or another occurs all over the world. And we believe that it can only be solved through collaborations. That's why we help our business or public partners like retailers or public canteens or bread producers by providing tools that enable exchange of a safely preserved the surplus or leftover bread as a raw material and the technology to turn it into new valuable products. Our solutions are based on applying different fermentation or other biotech processes through which we create new products like probiotic soft drink, protein-rich food like snacks, for example, circular bakery products or cosmetics. And in all of those, this unsold bread makes up from 20 to 99% of the ingredient of each product. So our business model is based on partially commercialize the products ourselves on a local scale just to prove their market viability, but ultimately to generate share through successful local market implementations of know-how for our products or from the commodity trading through the marketplace infrastructure. So just to give you a couple of examples of how those ideas translate to impact. First of all, we are constantly working or expanding our know-how offer through R&D projects. Second, there's the example of our soft drinks that we have been testing with customers for a couple of the past months and are scheduled to appear in the local markets just next month. And third, we are working closely with retail partners like Carrefour to deeply understand their specific problems and needs in terms of bread waste and help them turn their bread waste into new circular and innovative products on their shelves. And finally, there's our recent international collaboration with two Spanish companies where we were able to convince an industrial bread producer to reimagine their surpluses of bread as a new protein-rich and delicious food ingredient. And then we took this ingredient and prototyped a vegan-friendly product for a seafood producer. If you are looking for solutions to tackle bread waste problems in your areas, we'll be happy to work with you or businesses in your areas to tackle them by providing know-how licenses, our marketplace infrastructure, implementation support, or design workshops. And I'll be happy to talk about it more during our one-on-one sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. And now it's the turn of our last Italian company, Biova Project. Emanuela is the president, the founder of Biova, that offer an innovative solution to reduce food waste by creating and commercializing food products made from surplus ingredients.
Hello, everybody. My name is Emanuela Barbano, and I am president co-founder of Viova Project, an innovative startup founded in Italy, in the northwest. Sorry, just some issue with the. Here we are. Founded in 2019 and working in food innovation. What do we do? Our aim is to reduce food waste and CO2 by creating food and beverage products following upcycling and circular economy principles. So our mission is to transform food surplus into new value. I don't have to repeat again that 1/3 of the food production worldwide is wasted every day. And in Italy, 1,300 tons of bread are wasted. How it works? We own a logistic system that makes us to collect surplus unsold bread, broken rice, broken pasta from a retail company or groceries, and we bring to our surplus treatment units, and we prepare them for transformation. We own our own recipes and we bring them to the nearest partner facility. This is done in order to save CO2 in transportation cost. What we produce ready for the market B2C products. And often our suppliers are also our distributors. So we are circular also in our model. We have a complete range of beer made from unsold bread, broken rice, and broken pasta. We have salty snacks made from spent barley, and we are working on a pasta. There is a patent pending recipe, and we are every day working on new products. We already tested 2 local projects with the local association of bakeries here in Milan and in Bergamo, involving the local bakeries to collect their bread and transform it into beer. We have a range of beer in cans for in Milan and in Bergamo. But right now, we did this just with local association of bakeries. But if an entire municipality commit to this, we will for sure be able to provide them a real example of a real action of a vision, so to be real sustainable. Where we are? We are in main retailers in Italy. I'm proud to say that we are also in big brands restaurants. We are distributed and online. We are a team. We are 2 co-founders. Franco is here with me today. And then we have 2 seniors and 4 youngs graduated to join the company after a short internship. So we will be very happy to explain you more into one-to-one meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emanuela, and we are almost at the end of this second batch of startups. So let me introduce SEEB Energy from United Kingdom that has developed a modular and automated system able of valorizing food waste into renewable energy, grey water, and organic fertilizer. So please welcome Bianca from United Kingdom.
Hi there. So I'm Bianca Sasso. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager at SEEB Energy, based in the UK. So we have heard a lot about the issues around food waste and reusing that food, but inevitably some of that food will end up as waste. In Europe, we send the majority of that still to landfill. There's a lot of composting that is becoming more available, but that still has a very large distance to travel to. The trucks are extremely inefficient, And once the waste gets to landfill, it's producing a huge amount of emissions, or if it goes to composting, it's producing a lot of carbon emissions, and you're not getting that value back in terms of the energy. We also all know that our energy prices are going up, and in agriculture, also the energy prices increasing are making fertilizer much more expensive. So our solution is an automated, modular, anaerobic digester. It's situated in a series of shipping containers, and it makes food waste into electricity, heat, water, and fertilizer on site. It is very flexible, and we have a range of different sizes, and it is suitable for urban installations, inside of buildings, next to buildings, or within residential areas. We meet all of the safety regulations for that, and it doesn't require an expert to operate it because of the control system. So here's 2 sites where we have a FlexiBuster installed on municipal food waste processing in Europe. These sites get to produce electricity from the waste. They get heat and organic fertilizer and grey water back from the waste. It's an end-to-end process, so all they have to do is load the waste into the system, and it allows them to really reduce their costs and also have a new source of fertilizer and water for growing organic food in the local community. And also, it reduces the emissions from the actual waste transport in the urban areas. So you're taking trucks off the road. So our business model in Europe is around direct and indirect sales. We have large energy and utility partners, such as our lead investors, Enagás and EPM. And we also partnered with enterprises like Engie and Veolia in the waste management space. We outsource all of the manufacturing, installation, commissioning, and maintenance of the systems, and this allows us to be very flexible in deploying into new geographies. The systems cost between 250,000 and 750,000 euros, and that's for a range of different sizes. We have a 20-year recurring revenue that is from the software license, which allows us to continue maintaining and updating the software and analyzing the performance of the equipment as well. And through all of this, through grant funding, we have a very efficient use of capital. So this is a really flexible business model for deploying into new regions and allowing us to very quickly deploy for new cities and new municipalities in Europe. So where we are right now, we have had 3.4 million euros of corporate venture capital and angel funding. We have received in 2020 a 3.1 million euro grant from the European Union. That allowed us to develop a commercialized solution of our product, which is ready for deployment all over Europe and meets all the regulations and is very rapid to install. We've deployed already systems into 5 countries, and these systems are also operating and producing energy from the waste on their sites. And we've agreed deals that double our install base. We have a 62 million euro pipeline for this year, which is 98% increase over last year. And we're currently raising our Series A round, which will allow us to deploy into new markets, including Latin America, as well as really developing some of the different verticals that we're in beyond urban food waste management for municipalities. So some of these logos are our investors, they're our partners, and they're the sites that we've deployed on. So there are some very large different types of systems, like at universities, hospitals, municipal waste management, and stadiums and beyond. So our team is made up of some experts in renewable energy practice, renewable energy deployment, scaling and building businesses, and we have board members from Axon Partners, Enagás, and Techstars who provide governance and external advice. And please get in contact with me. My colleague here, Graham, is our head of engineering. He's here today, and we're really looking forward to speaking with some of the municipalities in the one-to-one meetings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bianca, and we are at the end of this marathon. The last one is Albert from Belgium. Stefan will present this company that offers a food robot providing 24/7 access to healthy smoothies, soups, and plant-based shakes.
Hello, welcome to all of you. Very happy that I can close around here. Hope that I can still get your attention. To present our healthy food solution, we would like to make the healthiest option the most easy one by providing a healthy solution based on a piece of technology. Why did we actually do it? Because nowadays, if you pass by a vending robot, a vending machine, the only thing which you see is plastic and unhealthy products. So we thought, let's change that and let's invent a machine which provides a unique consumer experience, but also provides healthy food and beverages. So that's why we created Albert. With Albert, we have created a vending robot out of which you, as a consumer, can create your own blend based on frozen fruits, vegetables, and plant-based milk products. So we dedicate a lot of attention to transparency. As a consumer, what you see is what you get, and you can follow actually the entire production process from A to Z. Also healthiness, so we only provide fruits, vegetables, plant-based products, and water, so no added juices, no added purees. What you see is what you get, as I already said, and customization. As a consumer, you can create your own blend via the app. You can choose to incorporate 10% mango, 20% pineapple, 30% coconut, or you can choose one of the predefined recipes on the touchscreen interface. And we all do that by offering an attractive brand experience and consumer experience. Going to the next slide. We see that there is a big demand, of course. It's not only we who saw the need to develop something like that, it's also the consumers who actually ask for innovative and attractive new solutions. Consumers, they also, they of course put the pressure to the companies, to the public places where they spend their day on a 24/7 basis. And they, on their turn, put the pressure on the food service providers and the vending operators they are working with. So we try to partner up with those vending operators within our scaling model. And the reason why they like to work together with us is the fact that we actually have a profitable and an operable solution. So in the food tech market, which has been exploded over the last years, there are a lot of food tech solutions which are often very complex, very costly. But we think we have a very operable and profitable solution. You can, for example, compare us with a big machine blended out of the United States, which has the same purpose, but which is way more costly and way harder to operate. So there we try to differentiate ourselves as a company. The way how we did it until now is actually stay local in Belgium. For 7-8 years, we did everything ourselves, from the design of the machine to the production of the machine to also servicing and maintenance in the field. So we know actually every piece of the machine. We have learned a lot, but now the time is to scale up. And like I already said, we would like to do that by partnering up with international experienced vending operators who have a technical team at their disposal, who already have a customer base at their disposal. And we actually only have to partner up with those vending operators and do not have to close every contract with the final locations themselves. We also would like to partner up with strong brands. So for example, nowadays we already have a partnership with Danone. They deliver us some raw materials in the form of coconut and oat milk. And we can incorporate it into our smoothies so that they get a more milky taste. Going to the next one, it takes a while. The business model behind is actually selling the machines to the international operator, but there it does not stop for us. We also sell the consumables, the ingredients, the fruits, the vegetables. We also take 10% commissioning fee on the recurring revenues because we offer this second line digital support to the operators. And of course, we also have these brand fees like we already have nowadays with Danone, who are paying us on a monthly basis for the co-branding agreement on the machines. We already have gone through an intensive journey. We have sold more than 70,000 blends in the Benelux. We have more than 2,700 users in the app, so we know who is actually consuming our smoothies. We know the consumer profiles. We know when they take it, etc., which is also very useful information at the end for big brands who would like to step into a co-branding agreement together with us. We raised 5.6 million euros until now in equity subsidy debt, the journey is still ongoing to really go into that major phase where we can go profitable, hopefully somewhere in 2024. Yeah, we have reached some milestones. So, for example, in the UK, we are already partnering up with a UK operator who is actually incorporating us into a big pot in a hospital. So we are standing there next to fries, next to pizzas, and we are actually the only healthy solution there, which is of course important for a hospital. We have an industrial production process in place, so we are able to produce 10 machines a month locally in Belgium. Of course, 2024 if we need to scale, or if we are going to scale, we will need to find another partner who is able to match that rhythm. We have our own ingredient line, so we are actually repacking all standard ingredients, fruits and vegetables into our own bags. Why do we do that? Because from an operational point of view, we have been able to shape the bags and the boxes as such that they are perfectly in line with the dimensions of our machine, which makes it very, again, operable for the operator to refill the machine and do the daily cleaning. We have the food brand deal with Alpro. We have some very credible clients in Belgium, Decathlon, PwC, for example. And in the end, we also would like to extend our current solution to a more platform base, where we also actually introduce reusable cups and also can provide some flavored water units as a total package. Continuing, so we're a big team focusing on several domains: software, hardware, food. It's quite a combination to tackle, so we have quite some skills in our team. I'm not going to name all of them. We have some great partners in our structure as well. Why are we here? Yeah, we are actually interested to learn more about international operators present in the market, who we can partner up with in the different areas of Europe. We want to learn about local regulations, which we have to take into account, because we have learned that across Europe, different rules are existing. And we are, of course, curious about the level of adoption of vending machines and frozen food in your region. Yeah, feel free to contact me if you would have questions, if you would be interested, if you would know persons interested into our machine and who would like to eat more healthy food and beverages. Always there to help and to provide support. Thank you very much.
This is the end of the matchmaking day for the Call for Solutions Sustainable Food Systems. So I ask you the last round of applause for the startups and the SMEs that today presented their solutions.
And I ask also a big applause for Carliplo Factory that organized all this day and all the work with us with the Call for Solution. Thank you very much, Lina, and all the team of Carliplo Factory.
Thank you, Andrea. So I'll let you introduce the next session.
Yes, now is the turn of our public tour that we organize under the umbrella of the Food Forum. I'm happy to introduce Alice Casiraghi, Circular Economy Advisor for Milan Food Policy for this session.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. We're starting with a video about our first Food Forum. Gira slide. Okay, thank you. Welcome everyone to this Food Trails session on impact investing. Everyone here with us today and the ones that are following us remotely. So as we said, it's the first food forum for the city of Milan. It's a week dedicated to promoting healthy and sustainable food systems across stakeholders and citizens, as well as educating on food-related issues. And we have a week full of events, but this one is pretty special for us because it's about the link between public and private sector, a key topic for food policies development and a core activity of the Food Trails project we are part of here today. Please join me in welcoming on stage the Vice Mayor of the City of Milan, Anna Scavuzzo, and Valentina Morese, representative of Cariplo Foundation, partner of the Food Trails project. I will now pass the microphone to our first guest, our Vice Mayor. Thank you for being here today. I leave you the floor for the opening remarks. You have the microphone.
I think it's okay. Thank you very much. Welcome to Milan, and thank you very much for this meeting. I'm very pleased to can in such a way welcome you also in charge of my activity and also from the mayor of Milan. I'm very happy also because this meeting today is inside our Forum del Cibo, so a sort of food forum in Milan. And I deeply appreciate the chance also to connect with all the stakeholders for the private sector, also as Alice mentioned. Yesterday we had a very great lunch, event together with a very important community of young people, of schools, of private and public sector, a very important kickoff for this week. And it's a very important chance for us also to raise awareness in population about the issue we are dealing with. And so Food Forum is a sort of opportunity for us and for the city to get in touch with all the issues. Because public issues must be in some way not just driven by someone, but in a cooperation of different stakeholders and with the citizen as a whole. It's very important for us also to share together with you some considerations about the fil rouge of the events of this forum. First of all, the role of the cities, the topic of health, and the link between food and climate change together with young people. We would like to promote a sort of alliance between generations, so it's very important to work together. So we work together between private and public sector, we work together between generations, we work together between all the stakeholders in our cities to create value in our activities. And I think it's very fundamental also underline how important the value generated by urban policies is and can be now and the future. Cities, you know maybe more than me that are the places in which more than 50% of the population live today, a percentage that is increasing, and in the future it could be almost 70% by 2050. So guaranteeing the right to healthy food and water for all, especially the most disadvantages, also from an environmental and not just a social point of view, is the key to promoting sustainable and equitable development. So climate change, people, alliance between generations, the topic of health, and everything is connected with the environment sustainability. The growth of cities has fostered global economic and social development, and it also contributed to increasing inequality and poverty. Cairo Foundation promoted very important research on this topic, underlining the importance on the fight against this equality also through education and food. And I think it's very important because it can be the problem and the solution for the future. And these challenges we are facing is important for Milan, but I think it's important for all the city all over the world. Together with the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, we promote a very important reflection and underlining the importance of the key role of the cities for a local policies, but in some way building up a global urban policies. And second issue, when I underline the importance of this role of the key role of the cities, I can't but thinking about also the pandemic we passed through. During pandemic, the relationship between the role of the cities, health and food became clear. Above all, here in Milan, but we had a very strong lockdown for more than once. And the activity that we dealt together with all the stakeholders driven by the administration was called the food aid system, and was very important to support the whole cities, not just the poor, but people in need during that period. And so the second issue must be health, also because after pandemic, we have to deal with the chance to build up a well-being society, also through food. From the very youngest to oldest. So this is the reason why I mentioned the necessity to promote an alliance between generations. They're just a fight against a different sensibility. And so sustainability, the transform and social food system, urban food system into sustainable food system is the aim for the whole city, not just for a part of it. I'm very happy to be here, and I go to the conclusion also because it's very important for us to in some way insert this activity with food trails inside a very deep a list of events that in this week can open mind also to Milan population. And so it's very important for us also to talk about the activity we are dealing with the different stakeholders. It's very important for us to see the Food Trails Consortium gather here. And I want to thank all the responsible for the different stakeholders of the network, the cities, the NGOs, and all the people here in Cariplo Factory. After me, Valentina Morese can mention also the key role for Fondazione Cariplo since the beginning of our activity. And the last thing I would like to share together with you is a very important consideration about the value of this activity, because we want to invest in the future. We want to promote also a good relationship between the public policies and the private activities, both no-profit and profit organization. And I think it's very important to underline the importance of the value we can create also in the future. And I think that your efforts today can be very useful for us to, in some way, reshape some instrument, to redesign some ideas, and to transform into new policies for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice Mayor. We are very glad that the political will in Milan is so supportive of the work in improving food systems and involving new stakeholders in this effort. Actually, the food policy of Milan has changed faces many times from the pandemic, from its beginnings, and with European projects like the Food Trails one we're here to discuss about. Now let me introduce to this purpose our second guest, Valentina Morese, representative of Cariplo Foundation, for her welcome speech.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, I prepare a small presentation. No. Stai.
Giro al contrario.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you. I know many of you from Food Trails, and it's a pleasure for me that you are all here. And yeah, I know it's been a long journey till today, but I also would like to welcome all the startups and the representative of the startups. And it's really a pleasure to have you here in Milan. I don't know whether there are the slides. Sorry. Yes, I prepared a small presentation just to give you an idea of what is Fondazione Cariplo and what are we working on and when this foundation has been developed. The foundation was born in 1991. Before that date, in fact, the bank, Cariplo, was doing both the activity of the bank as well as the activity of the philanthropic activity and projects. But since 1991, they decided to have a dedicated foundation to work on philanthropic projects and issues. The foundation so far has granted about 3.6 billion euros, and we have developed several projects over the years. I don't know whether the presentation works, but But in any case, there are different kind of issues on which we dedicate our activities that range from art and culture, as well as the environment, research and science and innovation, as well as social issues. We have a specific perspective from which we look at the challenges that the society encounter every year. We try to move closer to citizen and civil society and look at the problems from their perspective. And this happens not only in terms of social issues, but also in terms of research. And together with the Milan municipality, we have been working on the Milan food policy since 2014. It's been a long journey, and last year we renewed our Memorandum of Understanding, which is a sort of document that has been supporting us over the years. Our approach towards the food policy is to work together, to synergize and to support the local food system to flourish. In a way, we are not interested in being a protagonist, but we would like to, but we try to have, together with the Milan municipality, a synergy in terms of the visions and the missions for the food policy, and support each other over the years in the identification of who are the actors in the food system that can help us and how we can support them to develop their vocations and aspirations in order to let all together move towards a more sustainable food system. We stay on the back, but at the same time, we always are in close connection with the Milan municipality, and we have been working over the years on different issues, problems, and projects. And I just want to talk about a couple of thematic issues on which we have been working over the past 7 years, which can give you an idea of what I was trying to explain in theory about supporting the local actors. One of the topics that we have been engaged is related to health and healthy diet, and to move, as you probably know, because many of you come from city and are policymakers, to move to have a transformation in terms of culture on food is very difficult, and you have to engage with different actors. Together with the Milan municipality, we have been working significantly with public procurement and use everyday experiences of our pupils as a way to make a step forward towards the development of a safe and healthy diet for all. This meant in practice that we introduced fruit, for example, at mid-morning, and we worked on the menus for pupils and reduced the quantity of meat or reduce the quantity of salt in preparation of the food, which was something very practical, but actually that was very useful not only for the children, but also for their parents. And is a shift, a transformation that requires time that we could only do together with the municipality and their help. Another activity that we have been working on significantly is the development of a network, and you can see here an example of a project on which there are working stakeholders coming from a very different perspective. The development of network and activities that in which different stakeholders come together for us was crucial, because since the very beginning we were convinced that a food policy could could only be a food policy efficient and useful if it represented well all different vision and opinion and point of views from different actors. One of the activities that we have been working on, as you know, is the development of local hubs, which have been particularly useful during the pandemic, but which actually are useful every day to support fragile people. And also in the development of the hubs and the everyday activities are present actors from very different areas, starting from research all the way through civil society organizations, institutions like us and the Milan municipality, and we all work together towards the same goal. So a special thank, I think, here is also for the engagement of the Milan municipality with us, and also the fact that we supported each other and we open a dialogue on different issues to actually help society to move and transform the food system. And also because we are person, and I think that a change in society is also, and also the success of the Milan food policy is also due to the fact that different person believed in that project and in that shift and worked every day on these topics. So now we have a direction dedicated within the Milan municipality completely to the Milan food policy, where a lot of people are working and every day are trying to support the transformation of the food system. So a special thanks to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Vice Mayor and to Valentina for this introduction. I will ask you now to leave the stage for another round of guests to discuss about investment frameworks in urban food systems. Thank you. Just one last round of applause for them. Okay. Now, talking about frameworks, I want to welcome on stage Tom Achterbosch and Lina Guglielmino again. They're all part of the Food Trails project. Please welcome them. Just a slide changer. Okay, I'll just leave it to you. Okay, so this session is about frameworks, so how cities invest in the food system. Just as an introduction to you all, Food Trails is an EU-funded project that involves 11 municipalities across Europe and then food organizations, research partners, and other partners to develop urban food systems and food policies. But specifically today, what we're discussing is the fact that this project, Food Trails, aims to establish a link between cities committed to food systems transformation and the environment of impact investors. And this is what we're going to talk about. Investigating the opportunities coming from food policy development in the urban context. So we're starting this session firstly with a brief video from Joe Robertson, representative of the EAT Foundation, which is another partner of the Food Trails project. I guess.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for working to drive a transition to healthy, sustainable, and inclusive food systems. I'm Joe Robertson, Senior Advisor, Sustainable Finance at the EAT Foundation. It has been a privilege working with the Food Trails team supporting the Investors Living Lab, including colleagues at EAT and Wageningen University and Research, and with key leaders in the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. The Investors Lab has held a year-long process of consultation with 5 of the Food Trails cities, as well as impact investors, innovators, and other contributors to the impact investing value chain. The lab examined 8 critical segments of the impact value chain, the first of which is impact itself. How do we define impact? what is the scope of the work? What non-financial benefits do we hope to generate? Food systems as they are now cost more than the value they produce. This food system deficit is estimated to cost around $2 trillion globally every year. In defining impact, we have to start from this understanding that each of the segments of the food impact value chain must be a place where the hidden value of doing better can be made more evident and more actionable. If you're doing something that works for the benefit of everyone, it should be valued, even if dominant market forces haven't yet figured out how. Impact is, in this sense, about revealing that value. Next, ambition. Ambition is more than a goal. Ambition defines credibility. Climate science tells us we need to eliminate roughly 50% of carbon emissions by 2030. Food systems must be part of that. Since the pandemic began, we've seen food insecurity skyrocket globally. In both wealthy and low and middle income countries, more people are food insecure than before. Last year, 50 countries saw at least part of their population facing near famine conditions. Ambition for impact must mean eliminating food insecurity sustainably. This tells us that solutions that work for the vulnerable and at the community level have significant value. Diet-related diseases have become a hidden pandemic, undermining health and costing millions of lives. Improving human health outcomes can save societies billions of dollars or euros and make more resources available for investing in better outcomes beyond the food system. We heard the excellent example of the city of Milan's mapping of its budget to the Sustainable Development Goals. This allowed for a restructuring of budget areas, but also of teams and divisions to align municipal investments with desired areas of impact. That made it more possible to carve out an urban food strategy with a budget to back it up. When we say there is no money there, what we really mean is we have not yet structured the ways we use money to do the work we need. Data is a critical need. First, reliable information about the intended areas of impact in the local context. Then, beyond the basic numbers, an integrated understanding of data for impact. We can more easily accelerate investment for impact if we see how specific investments serve multiple needs. Good food is not just healthy or natural. It must also be affordable, accessible, and tailored to local circumstances and culture. And its impact value is greater if it also contributes to the wider societal and global transition to sustainable, climate-safe, and nature-positive production. We can build stronger local economies if people involved in the food system value chain have access to decent work and can fit into sustainable cities and sustainable consumption patterns as outlined in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. The data challenge is multidimensional and complex. Most of the individual actors who comprise our food system are not positioned to solve this problem. Showing where impact value emerges must be a shared endeavor supported by clear, focused, and sustained policy interventions, and with investment flows that move from marginal impact-focused investments to mainstream everyday flows of finance into food systems. The lab found that we need to define impact in ways that will drive action, to set ambition across multiple areas of need with long-term outcomes and local experience in mind, to support action with enabling policies and incentives, to develop new, flexible, and adaptive, but shared and reliable metrics, and the data to deliver investable insights. Investments in community-level benefits, including capacity to support value-building innovations across the food system value chain. Cities can improve their food systems by helping surrounding rural areas produce the better food they want to make available more affordably in their local economy. Products and services need to turn these momentum-building efforts into everyday experience, and investing for impact can do more good by helping activities that work in communities scale to support urban and wider regional food systems transformation. Each of you is part of the food system impact value chain. Each of you is part of the community of practice that makes a healthier, more sustainable world possible. Thank you for your efforts, and may you succeed in helping all of us enjoy healthier, more sustainable, and more inclusive food systems.
The EAT Foundation does an amazing job in promoting sustainable diets for people and the planet. And we all agree that beyond education and measurement, we need investments for that. And our next guest is here to talk about that, Tom Achterbosch, a researcher at the Economic and Research Department of the University of Wageningen. Tom, we have prepared questions, of course, and we have a question for you. The question is, is there room for cities to develop partnerships with impact investors in the framework of food policies? And what were you able to observe in the last year of work under the Food Trails project?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alice, and thank you for inviting me here and for being part of this exciting meeting and really exciting process of the call for solutions for urban food systems transformation. I'm a researcher. I work at Wageningen University and research as a researcher in sustainable food systems, and one of the main areas of work that we develop over the past years is the importance of the right financial levers and opportunities as a catalytic driver of food systems transformation. And much of the transformation will have to actually take place in cities or in city region food systems. Yet there is this mismatch of capital not really reaching the cities, even though there is an appetite from investors to do it. And our work has tried to shed some light on that sort of mismatch, that gap. I have a few slides, but actually it's more of a story where through our discussions, by talking to cities about what they are looking for in an impact investor and talking to impact investors in where they see opportunities for investment, we try to build this bridge, and we see there's a need for a whole sort of package of activity, a package of partnership actually, to make more effective investments into urban food systems transformation. And you, at least the SMEs and the innovators presenting here, would be one of the beneficiaries, one of the main groups of beneficiaries for those improved investment channels. But then of course it's important to understand, first of all, if the cities, the municipalities who we have here and who are participating can actually see the merit of the solutions that you provide, not only for you as a business, but also for them as a city. And I think that some of your pitches were really already making that leap, making that connection across the divide from business to the public sector to show what you contribute. And although some of the solutions, well, let's say, I mean, we heard the power of technology, leveraging the power of technology, leveraging the power of education, leveraging food technology and circular concepts in a new way. And those are things that are sometimes on the drawing tables of the municipalities, but can actually much better be realized by you as innovators in the private sector. And one of the main sort of ideas that we developed over this project is that when you nurture food enterprises such as you, that you can actually engage you as partners in the food policy. And some of those food policy objectives can actually be much more efficiently and much more effectively and with much more power be implemented by you rather than by the municipalities with their, the tools that they have at hand. So this partnership is important, but the funding is critical. And our assumption, our belief is that cities with their, cities as a collective, cities as individual cities, have opportunities to create ecologies for you, create environments in which you as innovators can better do your contributions and do your work. The first, what they could do is be ambitious about food. Without any sort of real clear ambition, your work would be sort of in a vacuum, would be, there wouldn't be the environment for your work to be taken up. The second is, don't go for cities, I think, to create innovation ecologies by nurturing businesses in the same way that some have nurtured the creative industries as a real driver for urban development, for upgrading parts of the cities. There's so much creativity in food that is sometimes not often seen as a real driver of change, and I think it's important to do that. Then the actual investment has to take place, and I think it's really cool that we had a call for solutions without funding, and still there were so many applications. So funding is not everything, but it is a punchline. And the punchline, the awareness in the cities about the range of investment instruments and investment opportunities is still a bit weak. There are great investments for blending public money with private money. There are opportunities to work with impact investment firms with more localized objectives around investment. The firms can most of the impact investment firms, actually what they do is be really good at assessing impact. And assessing impact is very close to the ambitions of the food policy. So that there's even a language in which you can both talk, which is theory of change. And we've spent a lot of work in Food Trails to let cities work with theories of change, imaginative futures for how food could transform their city as a way of thinking about food. And it's the same thing you do as innovators. So there is this match in language between the investors, the innovators, and the cities that is just waiting to be further exploited. And with that, and with that sort of continued effort of trying to scale the innovations, this is where I think the whole partnership can be made to transform food systems from within. Food systems aren't changed by policies, aren't changed by money. They are changed by people with creativity and power and changing their practice and coming together around a shared ambition. And I think that is really what is going to have to move. We have to move our food systems. But this journey is also really great and inspiring. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, we definitely need all hands on deck to support this shift in more sustainable food systems. We now pass the word to Lina Guglielmino. You've seen her before on this stage. She represents Cariplo Factory. The question for you is, what is the role of a dynamic company like Cariplo Factory in a project working with local authorities on food systems transformation?
Thank you, Alice, and hello again to all of you that are here in our space in Milan and people that are following us online. Before answering to your question, I want to briefly introduce Cariplo Factory. We are a benefit company born in 2016 that actually foster innovation and help talents, offering experiential training courses, innovation projects, and venture capital investments. As you can see, our model includes lots of stakeholders. So corporate, we help them to innovate their project or process. So we are talking about big corporates that are supported by us in digital transformation activities or circular economy projects, just for example. And we help them creating collaborations with startups or innovative SMEs. Regarding the people, stakeholders, we help them both in education, so supporting them through some experiential courses that can help them in their job research and in their career. And we also support startups both for the development or the business and to reach investments. In fact, we are advisor for Indaco Venture Partners. So here are just some activities we deal with, so circular economy, digital transformation, incubation, acceleration, both creating some empowerment programs, and with the collaboration of more than 25 incubators and accelerators in Italy and abroad. Then, as said, education activities, advisory for Indaco venture partners, and connection with impact investors and investors from all over Italy and Africa and Europe. And then we support startups growing, so under a business point of view and investment point of view. Here, some milestones of our path. So we started in 2016 with a project, Grow It Up, that wanted to help Italian startups to reach an impact. And then, as you can see, we started with the other projects till today. So till actually last year we started with the TerraNext, before with the Federated Innovation. So that you probably know in mind Milan, before some of the startup had a reference to Mind, which is a big project to create an impact at a systematic level. And then Skydeck, Barclays Skydeck Europe, that allows to European startup to come here to have an empowerment program and to reach investments. Regarding food, here you can see some of our projects linked to food. We care a lot about this team. As you can see, in 2017, we started a collaboration in this field with the municipality of Milan, with the food policy hot pot. And today we are still here talking about Food Trails project. So we are very happy to be in this project and to give our hand to this beautiful and extremely interesting process, which is Food Trails. And to answer to your question and go in depth with the program, as innovative partner, we supported Food Trails in designing and promoting the collection of startups and SMEs, so small, medium enterprises in Europe that can support the needs of the city, of the 11 cities that are in the program. So we started with a mapping stage. So we collected all cities' data through the theory of change that before mentioned, that Tom mentioned before, and the food policy action canvas developed with Politecnico of Milan. A great work that helped us to understand where cities wanted to go and what kind of impact they wanted to reach. Then we started with some, we call them priority alignment workshops, so one-to-one workshops to understand, to deeply understand what kind of needs these cities have. And then we started with the co-design and startups and SMEs applications till arriving today. So this is a process that we started more than 1 year ago. And for us, the most important aspect is about understand how we can help these cities to find the real needs for the citizens and for the environment. So we used this open innovation trees, so, which is a design thinking tool. We decided to use it to avoid any constraint, any prejudice on what is the real solution for the problems, for the city's problems. So as you can see, the tree, of course, it's a metaphor. The roots represents the partners, the stakeholders, the partnerships that cities already have. Then the trunk are the living labs, and the leaves are the activities that these living labs are carry on in these food trails years. And then the bees are the innovative solution that probably can solve the problem. And of course, then there's another entity, the investors, so all entities that in some way can support the project, both of cities and startups and SMEs in partnership with cities. As you can see, we made a tree with each city. It was a really long process that bring us to these 7 challenges that are the challenges to whom startups and SMEs answered through the application. So education and training, communication and engagement, food waste management, and reduction, distribution, delivery and logistics of food, data collection, access to healthier food and food processing, and then urban farming and gardening and food packaging. So as you can see, and as you saw before, there are lots of area of interest of these cities, and we are very happy that we received so many applications, so 200 applications from all over Europe. So today we saw startups from Poland, Finland, United Kingdom, and there are some challenges that are more covered than the others, but thanks to the cities and the evaluation committee composed by Wageningen Research, Caripel Factory, and Municipality of Milan, and then by the cities that directly choose the startups and the SMEs they wanted to talk with. Today we'll be able to have this matchmaking day and this public talk. So once again, thanks to all cities for this effort, and to the companies for being so excited to be here and to present the solution. And before closing, I just want to underline, to stress the importance of the process we made in this last year. We decided to create a very personalized approach for these cities. As Caripel Factory, we strongly believe in the power of collaboration, especially between entities that usually do not collaborate together, such as profit and non-profit, municipalities and startups and SMEs. Those are all entities that most of times run at different levels. So I believe that this kind of process can be replicated in every municipality in Europe, but also outside Europe, because as you saw, it's strictly personalized and can really allow to find valuable, innovative startups and SMEs for the benefit of the population, of the citizens of each city, and for that and for the food systems. Thank you.
Thank you. It was it was indeed really exciting to scout through 200 startup pitches. And we hope every city will want to do this in the future as well, because it's really, where have you seen before cities scouting startups for food systems? It's really innovative and exciting. Thank you both, Lynn and Tom. We are now doing a quick change of stage, and we're welcoming 3 new guests, Giulia Bartezzaghi, Andrea Magarini, and Lorenzo Facco, for the next session on proposed solutions for impact investing in food systems. Slider, yes. See. So while our guests are coming on stage, let me just introduce this session. So Milan is coordinating this ambitious project, Food Trails, as we said before, that promotes a shared effort towards the common goal of food policy implementation. The bridge between cities' activities and the private sector have been explained by the speakers before. And now it's time to deep dive into the experience of the city which is hosting us today, Milan. And in particular, we will hear more about how Milan is not only implementing a successful food policy, but also testing a new path for impact financing. So for this reason, our first guest in the second panel is Andrea Magarini. Andrea is the director of the Food Policy Department of the City of Milan. And the first question for you is, the City of Milan has launched a food policy in 2015 after Expo, and we have been implementing actions ever since. How did the municipality manage to maintain the funds for the initiative, for the food policy, and who were the actors involved?
Thank you, Alice, and again, it's a very big pleasure to be here with all of you, and today, because today is the Day of Europe, so 9 May is the European Day, and we are proving how working together with European colleagues is very impactful. Yeah, coming to the question, so how we maintain this budget, we are working a lot on budgeting of our food policies, and since the participation of the Food Trails Investor Living Lab, we have a lot of internal thoughts on the different tools that we deliver, the different approaches that we deliver. And in this presentation, I want to show you our approach. And starting from this small sentence, so the complexity of catching the budget, organizing and attracting economic research that in general is one of the main challenges for the early stage of a food policy, but also in the maintenance and the growing of the impact of our food policy. Few weeks ago, Tom, in another European meeting, told a very good sentence that was like, your budget is reflecting your ambition, so your ambition can be reflected by your budget. And through this, there are different examples, and in Milan, we are a kind of laboratory for this approach. We can divide our approach in our pathways into main parts. The first part was like a startup of our ambition. In the welcoming remarks, Valentina Amorese from Cariplo Foundation told their crucial role to start this food policy. And we began with, in the beginning, we do a research with the Free Hands of Estat to discover the importance of our food system, to define our field of action, so to discover exactly the different elements of our food system. In the same period, the city established also a food policy office inside the mayor office to try to coordinate the internal actors as well the external one working together in this approach. And finally, we continuously starting to collect all of the knowledge of our activities, all of the knowledge of all of the data of our activities to try to share all of this information in a very nice website and together with them inside the policy brief, infographics, and knowledge tools. And at this stage, we do a contribution per year of 150,000 euros from the Cariplo Foundation and the same in kind from the municipality, so a very small amount of budget. Then, through European funds, through direct investment of our direct reorientation of our municipal budget and our the second stage is the food system investments. We are becoming like an investors of our Milan food system, trying to coordinate all of the different resources that we have in a unique system. And in the same period, the municipality define also a new structure, the food policy department, that I have the honor of director with all of the people that are here. And again, let me say thanks to the effort of all of them, because they are the soul of this activity. When we start to discover the different budget that was allocated in the different department of our municipality. Here you can see the columns are the number of initiative project activities that are led by the education department, the planning department, the environmental department, the welfare department, the economy, and the mayors, and the budget department. And all of these projects, behind this number, there are budget, so there are money. And again, also, we do the same exercise also with our municipal agencies, so municipal companies that are fully controlled by the municipality. And the key role, again, was on the venture capitalists. So we try to exploit the taxonomy of a startup, and in our case, for startup and improve our ambition, the venture capitalist was, again, Cariplo Foundation, that Valentina already well explained. Then we identified our budget into 3 main tools. Now we discovered that are 3 tools, because through the Food Trails Investor Living Lab we collect a lot of input for trying to understand our approach, and so we try to clusterize the different activities in 3 tools that now I want to explain. And all of these tools are in the hand of the policy entrepreneurs, that in our case, again, is a politician, the vice mayor that you see in the beginning, our department, and all the actors that are supporting us, that are already well represented into the Food Policy Forum that is already ongoing in this week. And together with all of these actors, we do a very good activities of collaborative governance, try to enabling all the actors that are behind this number, behind this topic, and doing this kind of collaborative governance. At the end, we are trying to generate an incremental impact on the all of the activities, because one activities are impacting another, and all of these activities are working together to transform the food system. And now the three financial tools are very simple, so no very big innovation, but is important and is innovative the way in which all of these 3 tools are intertwined each other. The first one is the grant making, the second is partnership, and the third is the municipal budget. And in all of these, we try to describe what is this kind of tool, what are the elements of enabling, what are the barriers to organize and to catch budget from each tool, and the level of the political dimension of each of these tools, and so on and so forth. So we try to clusterize in a unique framework these three tools. And we start in 2015 with a grant making, so is a general way in which some cities, all of us of course, are trying to define their impact by applying to a call for funding. Generally speaking, European call for funding, or philanthropics, and so on. And in these tools, you know that there are an external constraints. So the framework on which an European project is written is a framework that at the end becoming an external constraint. It's mandatory for us when we find a budget like, when we win a project like this, at the end implement the project in those ways. And seems a very stupid topic, but it's very important, because when we submit an application, we define 4 years of activities, and then the 4 years of those activities need to be implemented. Today we are here to an event of Food Trails, but this event was defining into 2017 when we submit the project. So at the end, all these parts are planned. there is a very good work and frequent interaction with a lot of partners inside the grain making and inside the project, like Food Trails, and this part is, again, very, very important. And through this fund, we can invest in high-risk successful investment, because otherwise we can exploit municipal budget, but for the part more innovative, European funds are very good. In Milan, at the end, we have now active 10 European projects with a total budget of 24 million euros for those projects. Some of them are horizons, like Food Trails, like School Food for Change, like Cultivate, like Clever, and all of them are connected to a specific public food services, like school canteen, food sharing, and so on. There are European rural development funds that are supporting us to invest in short supply chains. Yesterday, the partners of Food Trails among you were in one of our farms to eating a yogurt, and those yogurt was produced through a plant, through an investment that was organized under this kind of projects. We catch, is not exactly a grant making, but a kind of international funds through international awards. The Airshot Prize of Prince William is one of these, and is inside these 24 million euros. And then other, like a DEAR project with Food Wave, that are supporting us in youth behavioral changes. Plus other more on the topic of capacity building for public administration. So here, our list are marked all of the projects, all of the funds that we catch in Milan in the topic of grant making. Second, partnership. Through partnership, that is a very powerful financial tools. We work with partners, of course, and we reorient our activities through the relation with them, through the local food waste hub, and then Julia will go more in detail. We have a lot of partners that are working in a planned way, and each of us are investing a part of their budget, of their human resources, of our investment together in this part. And yeah, the local food waste hub is an example. Another is an agreement on rural-urban linkages that we have among 5 agricultural districts, 3 institutions, so the municipality, the provinces, metropolitan authority, and regional authorities. And these 5 agricultural districts engage 189 farmers in the metropolitan area of Milan. And this agreement is a co-investment of 96 million euros, and the half of them is already implemented. Third, and is the final part of these 3 tools, municipal budget. So the reorientation of our municipal budget, the reorientation and the possibility to connect to the food policy goal, a specific line of our municipal budget, at the end innovate our public food services, like school canteens and so on. And is the part with low-risk investments, because we have very competent and we have an historical pathways of invest in those public service. And this part is the more expensive one, because inside the food policy department, we are managing school canteens with a budget of 77 million euros, in which more than the half is covered by the municipal budget. The way in which we invest this part of the budget is the way in which we innovate our food system through school canteens. Inside Food Trails, we are doing a good investment to refurbishment of the canteens as a building in the topic of in line with nudging approach. That was one of the activities funded by Food Trails. And inside the municipal budget, we have the budget for investing to implement those kind of feasibility studies. So just to see how we are intertwined the part of the grant making to the part of the reorientation of the budget. Again, through our budget, we are investing in a new warehouse for the school canteens, and through a new kitchen center with a budget of 22 million euros. Is a way in which we are working since the last 3 years with our budget department to reorient a part of our resources to invest in our school canteens. Then on the farms, yesterday you were in one of them, but we are owner of 16 farms and of about more than 1,000 of hectares. The way in which we do this contract, the way in which we are working on the income that these farms are generating, and we are generating more or less an income for the municipality of 300,000 300,000 euros per year are exactly reinvested to the maintenance of these farms, the farmers market and the food aid system. But here you can see, and was the final part of our thoughts on the impact financing, on the budgeting of a food policy, how it was important spend years and years in grant making, in partnership, to try also to impact our municipal budget. That is the piece of a cake more easy for us to reorientate because are under our responsibility, but it's very good to see the degree of innovation in this part. Here, just to sum up, grant making, partnership, municipal budget, the new frontier can be impact financing, and we are very, very happy to have in here Deloitte, represented by Lorenzo, in which we are working since the last months, but I don't want to anticipate nothing. Another part that allowing us to see these free tools is try to map our infrastructure. In Milan, we have a lot of food system infrastructure. In all of our cities, there are a lot of food system infrastructure. Having an intentionality to connect the role of infrastructure to our budget at the end, allowing us to exactly maintain and to orient our resources into physical space, into physical infrastructure that will be survival also after our activities and with survivors for the future. Here you can see the 24 cooking center, the distribution center in yellows, the different farms that are owned by the municipality, the green are the surface that we are on, and inside the cities, the part of the farmers market. So just to see how in the different districts of the city, there are a part of farms and there are a part that are linked to our food policy implementation activities. And again, just to conclude with, again, the word of the starting moment, the budget needs to reflect our ambition. And we inside Food Trails, together with the cities that were part of the Living Lab and together with all the consortium of Food Trails, I think we are doing a lot of good tools to see this advancement in food policy implementation. All of these parts that I mentioned are inside a policy brief that is uploaded on the Food Trails website, as well in the website of the forum. There is a QR code you can download also here if you want, but is exactly the run show of the presentation. Alice, up to you.
Thank you. That was a very cute bee on the municipal slide page. Anyway, you've seen how many actors are needed to support a sustainable food system. So from the municipality to private actors to organizations, European grants, it's a lot of work and organization and the work of a great team to support that. A new partner is supporting a different effort at the municipality of Milan. Deloitte has recently joined Milan's food policy ambitions thanks to the Earthshot Prize that Milan has won. The first Earthshot Prize. And today we have Lorenzo Facco, who is a senior manager at Deloitte, joining us to tell us a bit about their new supportive role in this challenge. And specifically, my question for you, Lorenzo, is how can a company like Deloitte support a city in their food policy pathway? And what were you able to develop together with the food policy department thanks to the Earthshot Prize?
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Andrea. And thanks to the City of Milan for inviting us at speaking in this interesting event, which represents an important step of our cooperation, which started last year, but let me say is rooted even before, because it all started with the Earthshot Prize, which is an international prize launched in 2021 by the Royal Foundation, the philanthropic foundation created by the English princes William and Harry, and the prize has the goal of supporting and encourage the change in the approach towards environmental issues and towards climate change. And it includes 5 main areas of competition. One of it is building a waste-free world. This was the first edition, which raised approximately £50 million. And within this, Milan was awarded, among other 750 initiatives worldwide, as part of the Build a Waste-Free World for the Food Waste Hub. project dedicated to reducing the food waste. And the award-winning initiative will be better explained later, so I don't want to anticipate much, but is one of the pillars of the food policy of Milan, and is one of the pillars of the journey started by the municipality in 2015 as a legacy of the Expo. In this context, Deloitte was a partner of the Global Alliance and was implementing the prize, supporting the selection of the different projects and the assessment of the different proposals. And after that, Deloitte Foundation, with the support of Deloitte Climate and Sustainability, which is a new legal entity established by Deloitte to tackle the climate change and sustainability issues, has chosen to support the city of Milan in making even more significant impact on the territory and community by improving or delivering the projects within their policy. And in this context, we have assisted the city of Milan and the food policy area in assessing the feasibility of issuing a sustainability-linked bond to support food waste reduction project. In this way, the financing obtained with the bond will allow the city of Milan, which we have seen as many tools to support its budgeting, to achieve a twofold result, improving and strengthening the currently initiatives and the currently food waste-related projects, such as the Waste Hub, and exploring new opportunities around the whole food waste value chain in order to further develop and get additional results. The feasibility study was done following a three-step approach. As a first step, we have mapped all the food waste initiatives developed within the city area, but not only the city area, also covering initiatives developed by other cities, for example, the cities under the C40 network, in order to identify best practices or potential gaps that can help improve or achieve further results. Once we have mapped the initiatives, we have tried to identify the most suitable sustainable financial instrument among the different available, and define an ICMA-based framework that includes the potential eligible projects and the relative key performance indicators. So, to give you some detail on the framework that we have established for the city of Milan, we have identified 8 different KPI, all related to a sustainable performance target agreed with the city of Milan and linked with the priority number 4 of the food policy, so that the KPIs can be also used in order to track the progress towards this goal. And one important feature of this KPI was that based on the mapping performed, we have tried to avoid reinventing the wheel or adding new KPIs compared to what the municipality was already doing and monitoring. So we have tried to summarize and identify KPIs that can be common to all the different projects that are now under performance and that can cover different aspects typically linked with the requirements of the ICMA. So covering social aspects, specifically the access to food, tackling environment and climate change, which is an important connection with the food security and the food system, and especially having attention to avoid or support projects capable to reduce CO2 emission. Of course, the economics are important, and so efficiency of the private sector linked with the bond was identified through 2 different KPI, and the governance as well, in order to support the actions towards a cohesive food system. As said earlier, the final target, or these KPIs, will be used to monitor the achievement of the economic sustainability of the recovery and redistribution of exceedance of quantity of foods, with the long-term goal of creating a sustainable, cohesive, and inclusive food system. The bond will be issued by the municipality of Milan, but will be open to other actors to jump on and add on the project, so that it can get better results. As a conclusion, let me just thank the project team who has worked on this interesting initiative, and let's stay tuned for a potential follow-up. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's stay tuned definitely for the new developments of this sustainable bond. Last but not definitely least, our guest Giulia Bartezzaghi, Director of the Food Sustainability Lab at Politecnico di Milano, long-term partner of the food policy of the City of Milan. She will tell us a bit about the role of data in building the foundation of impact investing. Giulia, what is the role of data collection for food waste reduction policy actions, and how can we set up a sound monitoring frameworks?
Thanks a lot, Alice. Thanks a lot, Andrea, and all Milan municipality for bringing me to this really interesting panel. I was really curious to listen to your presentation. So I'm representing the university, as Wageningen, my colleague Tom before. So why talking about data? So we saw a lot of data in all presentations before, and all pitches from startups started from data, also to quantify the entity of phenomenon. So why is so relevant to monitor, collect data, and monitor data over time? So let me start with a few observations. So first, data provides evidence on most urgent challenges the urban food system are exposed to, and towards which partners, budgets, resources should be driven. Data that are used to frame, should be used to frame urban food strategies. Second, outcomes measurement. So this is crucial. Also, when we talk about sustainability-linked bonds, of course, we need to measure performances. We need to have tangible outcomes, tangible results. Also, when we talk, and particularly when we talk about impact financing. And outcome measurements enable us to then test actions, of course, and then identify those successful actions that can be replicated and extended. Investors require KPIs, of course. So as Lorenzo was mentioning before, the first thing to do is to identify clear KPIs that can be measured and monitored, and based on which investors decide to invest or not. And then, in this overall process, evaluators are key, crucial actors, and universities, researchers, might play this role. So as independent evaluator in assessing the impacts of and outcomes of interventions. But, there is a big but in this story, measurement. So measurement is still a problem. We also listened before to, also like talking with partners from Food Trails and particularly city officers. So there is lack of robust, updated data, particularly on phenomenon challenges like food waste, and particularly when we talk about food waste generated in cities. So it's highly fragmented, data are dispersed among different stakeholders, there are different owners of data, and it's really costly as a process. So, but let me just give you some aggregated data to start with, to give evidence of the urgency of the problem. So you already know this data, and also were presented previously. And reliable sources like FIO tell us that 1/3 of total production, total global production, is being wasted. And you can see also other data telling about the facts and the paradoxes of food insecurity and food waste at the global scale. At the same time, the same holds true when we look at the European scale. So Eurostat published really recently in 2022 reports accounts for 60 million tons of food when being wasted in Europe. So it's quite an impressive number. And at the same time, 8.6% of the European population cannot afford a proper meal. And we have also, of course, climate, environmental impact of wasted food, and it costs a lot. So these are aggregated data, but it are the starting point when we need to pinpoint critical issues. But then the problem of measurement exists. So how to cope with the lack of extensive, robust data regarding food waste in cities? Let's start with some pilot actions. Pilot actions enable us to start collecting data, to start framing data collection processes, testing measurement framework, engaging stakeholders in data collection process, and measure results. And then, starting with pilots, if successful, then we can extend and replicate the data collection process as well, building synergies also with other initiatives. So I bring you this example that was mentioned also before, winner of the Headshot Prize for the category Build a Waste-Free World. So the food waste apps, or also titled Neighborhood Apps Against Food Waste in Milan. Why neighborhood? Because they operate in neighborhoods, so they cover different areas of the city, leveraging also proximity. And we started with this project after Expo in 2016 with the co-planning and co-designing of the whole project, but then it was finally implemented in 2019 with the first hub in Isola district. And then up to now, we have 5 different apps running and covering different parts of the city. So which are the key elements, distinctive features of this model? So first of all is a multi-stakeholder cross-sectoral partnership. So it's a big network bringing together public, private, for-profit, no-profit organizations. And this is crucial because, as Andrea was saying, this is a way to mobilize resources, unique resources, human capital, competencies, trucks, equipment, so also material resources that are necessary to make the whole system work. And it's characterized by mixed, flexible operational model. That means that each hub has its own management operational system, so that it's customized based on the key features of the local network and the local territory where the app operates. So, for instance, we have hub in Isola and hub Lambrate working on surplus food recovery from supermarkets and redistributed this food to no-profit, frontline no-profit organizations. In other hubs, we have an hybrid model, so combining surplus food recovery and redistribution with the model of the social market, meaning final beneficiaries directly going to the hub to provide themselves with food, surplus food or other type of acquired food, and other products directly in these social stores within the hubs. And we are also experimenting the transformation of surplus food, particularly bread in this moment, transformed into bread, that is then served in the hub to final beneficiaries. So you can see flexible hybrid operational model that enable us also to improve the quality of food that we are giving to people, vulnerable people. But then a key point is also the hybridization of services. So with the hub in Galaratese, launched in 2021, we, thanks to, of course, the engagement of several non-profit organizations, we tested the hybridization of food distribution with other welfare services like childcare activities, psychological support to people, and so on and so forth. So let me, in a chart, really, in a few words, describe the evolution of the network and achieved outcomes, so data. So we can see that the network moved through 3 different phases. So the first phase, the pilot phase, the launch of the first app, aggregating key partners and mobilizing key resources that enabled to launch, actually, the development of the first app, and achieved outcomes in the row below. But then we entered in 2020 the second phase, which saw a consolidation of the first app, but then reconfiguration of the system to cope with the effects of COVID-19 pandemic that of course highly impacted the whole system. And as Andrea or Alice, I remember, was saying, there was a quick reaction of this municipality of Milan, developing 10 temporary hubs to cope with an increased demand for food from people in need. So reconfiguration of the system, but then back on track, phase 3, where we are now, expansion and scaling out of the system with new apps being launched and with an integration of new food donors, and integration of new streams of food, integration of the wholesale market, for instance, that is a key app, so within the wholesale market, so bringing the flows of fruit and vegetable, so precious from a nutritional point of view, and then expanding the network. You can see all the outcomes increasing over time, so in the different phases. So we keep track of volumes, food being recovered and redistributed, and what type of food, and number of beneficiaries, but also actors involved in the system. So different KPIs that you were mentioning before. Really briefly, we have flows of food, of course, but also flow of data, information that we try to monitor. So there is an inbound flows of data, so inbound with respect from of the hub. So data's coming to the hub, also thanks to tools, fiscal documents, managed by food donors, released by food donors, and managed by no-profit organizations. And then we have an outbound flows of data, again, managed by no-profit organizations with recording redistributed food, a number of beneficiaries, scheduling of redistribution, and so on. This is the first level of daily collection and aggregation of data. But then we have a second level, monthly aggregation, where we, as a university, play a role. So we collect data on a monthly basis from supermarkets, from corporate level of food donors, so aggregated monthly data on donated food, but also wasted food. And we aggregate this data, we double-check data with no-profit organizations, particularly we check donated food and what is recovered from food donors and what is redistributed to people in need, and we monitor, measure KPIs. What we measure, so particularly we look at like production, which is turnover in the case of retail, donated food, but also disposed food, and for different product categories. And then for canteens, that was interrupted during COVID, so the recovery and redistribution of meals was interrupted because of the pandemic, but now we are restarting again, so also integrating this flow in a monitoring system. And here we talk about portions, of course, so cooked, served, donated, disposed portions, and for different type of dishes. So last but not least, 2 key KPIs that are really aligned, I think, with your presentations. So one is looking at the efficiency from a food donor perspective, particularly. So the rate, the portion of surplus food over total production, and the other one is specifically focusing on donations. So what is donated of the total amount of surplus food being generated. So I think these are two KPIs that we try to monitor over time, and particularly important also when engaging private actors. So just the last slide, also because I'm the last one before lunch. So why use this? Why is it important to use this kind of measurement systems? So to assess and monitor performances, as already said, to pinpoint critical issues and identify causes, as an instrument for internal and external communication, and also as an instrument for reporting for food donors. Possible futures, and then we'll discuss about this together. So first of all, consolidate the data collection process, integrate new food donors and new streams of food, digitalize data collection processes. We saw a lot of data-driven solutions before, so digitalization might be a good way to optimize also data collection process, and then integrate project data with other databases available to have a more systemic, holistic view on food recovery redistribution in the urban food system of Milan. So thanks a lot again.
Thank you very much to all the three of you. Please give them an applause. Please remain on stage. Yes. So I want to thank all our incredible speakers and ask for a conclusive remark to Andrea Magarini on the work related to the sustainability-linked bond and future directions. And then there will be a round of Q&A later, so if you have questions, please prepare them, and somebody will pass in the among you with a microphone.
Just not as a remark, but we are very interested to launch this bond, this sustainability-linked bond, because we have a lot of data, as Julia mentioned, and we are ready. Together with us is not here present, but with a spirit, with a soul, the responsible of our budget department, financial unit, in which we are speaking a lot on the feasibility studies that we have prepared with Deloitte, and so we are trying inside the rules of the municipality how we can launch and to publish this sustainability-linked bond to the food waste hub. That will be at the end supporting us, but more properly all of the third sector organizations that are managing the hub to sustain in the future the daily management, so not just to find for new projects, but to support for the long time all of their activities, because the bond want to become a permanent tool of our project. So again, thanks for all the effort that we have done together, and the Q&A now.
Cosa?
The Q&A. The Q&A.
Ah, Q&A, yes, sorry. Okay. So, just to conclude, actually, the Food Trails project is a project of 11 cities, not just Milan. So the cities are present here today in the audience, and all our partners are here with us. Are there any questions? I know it's almost lunchtime and we've been talking about food for 2 hours. No questions? No? I think we can conclude. I want to thank all the cities. Maybe we can mention them. We have a question. No? Okay.
Okay, it's a quick question. It's more like an assumption. How it's a question also for Tom and for Lorenzo. In your opinion, how much cities are ready for this, for being like actors in this financing tools creation, and if they are willing to, if they are aware that they can be like investors and reorient their budgeting? Because I have the idea that cities are a bit slow in accepting this role.
Should I start? Okay. Well, I can't give you a number, but I can say that is an area of growing interest by cities as they get not only some push from the real situation that they see within their territory, but also due to the global sustainable finance related initiatives that are pushing public and private sector to value many different initiatives, not only specifically related to, let's say, profitability of a project or to hard project, but also tackling social aspects. So I believe that a growing number of cities will adopt similar instruments to support and deliver on the sustainability strategies and sustainability commitments that they are taking.
Yeah, maybe in addition, sorry. I think cities have been impact investors for, or municipalities are impact investors in food systems for a long time already, and have a lot of experience and are expanding their portfolios of investment. What is maybe newer is the use of more advanced funding instruments that are just not well aware. The example of the impact bond. When we as researchers look at documented cases in literature, and there's just very little recording. So I think this is a good time to really build the evidence base on the use of these new instruments, make them more aware, more easier to adopt, and then we will also see that expansion of use. Thank you. Cities would like to comment.
We don't have any more questions. So I wanted to thank the cities of Food Trails, and we mentioned them from west to east, maybe. They are Funchal, Birmingham, Bordeaux, Groningen, Grenoble, Milan, Bergamo, Warsaw, Tirana, Thessaloniki, and I missed one. Which is the one I missed? Copenhagen, of course, Copenhagen. So these are the 11 cities. We have all the other partners. Thanks for the amazing support from Cariplo and to the speakers, and enjoy your lunch.